Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-279-0433. That's 800-279-0433. What do you have to lose? Call 800-279-0433. Again, 800-279-0433.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the Bag Boys.
What?
Bag Boys, Bag Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag Boys, Bag Boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of double stacked JDC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
If car designers can make cars look like anything, why are there so many boring cars? Why not a car that looks like an ancient sword? Or the future? The sky isn't even the limit at Nissan. Why be boring when you can make a katana blade slice through traffic? That's the Nissan Z. Or something from the future whizzing by. And that's the Aria. Nissan. Redesign for thrill. 2023 Aria has limited availability. See dealer for financing details.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari explains how to deal with a losing trade.
Every now and then, you are going to be wrong. You have to be able to accept that you're wrong, take a loss, and move on. Very easy to say, very hard to do. Taking a small loss is one of the most difficult things for the average investor. All the time you invested convincing yourself to do something because you're going to use hard-earned money to buy the stuff. Now you have to turn around and say, oops, I was wrong. And that's where most of the small investors get married to a market, married to a stock, married to a mutual fund. And guess what? You love it, but it does not love you back.
Ready for some help with your investments? Call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari. That's 800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
People settle down because it's time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. He's back. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We're going to wait until later to talk about how well the Diamondbacks are doing, but we've invited Ralph from Harmon Solar to join us, and he can't be with us until after the first break, so we're going to save it. We're just going to wait.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll trust me. There's plenty of crap that we need to talk about anyway. So many things happened this weekend. What a busy weekend in the world of sports that it was. And George was absolutely right on Twitter. It's kind of nice to see such a positive Arizona sports weekend. You know, you got the Diamondbacks, and then you got Jon Rahm winning the Masters, former ASU guy, and of course that shows that Randy was 100 million% right. When he said last week that Jon Rahm was his man to win the Masters.
Yeah, it scored me $20 too, and that was a win. I haven't had a win in a while, so that felt good. And congratulations
for you.
Yeah, congratulations to Jon Rahm. I know he's a big listener to the show.
Also, congratulations to me. I forgot to bet, so I'm a winner too. Because nothing I were going to bet was going to matter. And then, of course, what happened to Matsuyama? I thought he was. What was wrong with him?
Listen, this is the Masters. This is Augusta National. This golf course will humble you very quickly.
Wasn't that one of your guys there, Keon Matsuyama?
No, I had Colin Morikawa.
Oh,
which
okay.
Still didn't help me.
All right.
Matsuyama, former champion, just 2 years ago. Listen, you can't ever count him out, but. Jon Rahm, this guy has been showing grit all season long, and I had a feeling going into the Masters, he's won 3 tournaments, and now he's won the Masters. I mean, this guy is having a fantastic year. I would look for him to be I would look for him to be in the running in the U.S. Open. I would
Sure.
look for him to be in the running.
He's
for,
hot right now.
The Open. These are things that you pick up on. But yeah, it was a great tournament for him. And what a grueling schedule too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, it was also the 40th anniversary of the second Masters title that Seve Ballesteros won. Now, remember, my wife is part of the Ballesteros family. And so it was kind of nice to remember that. And also to hear, Rom and Jose, is it Olzabal? How do you say his name?
A lot. I can't say it either.
Jose Maria Olzabal.
Oh, yeah.
They're both Spaniards, and they had things. And they had a remembrance of Seve at the same time. And so it's just like, it was a historical thing. It was a special moment for John Rahm. It was just a really great outcome for everybody except for Keon, who did not bet John Rahm.
I'd like to register a complaint. Sergio Garcia here. I was out on the course.
Did you even make the cut?
And does that matter? No. Okay, I won the Masters. I don't have to win again to prove anything.
I can't answer that question.
Well, listen, I mean,
didn't even make the cut.
Everybody's John Rahm this, John Rahm that, John Rahm this. I really am. Jose Maria Olazabal. Hey, listen, I don't even care. Nobody talked to me about it.
You're not even on the PGA anymore. Go talk to the Saudis. Get on some Saudi radio, Sergio.
Hey, listen here. I've got friends in high places or low places, depending on what you're thinking. But
you are the friend in low places.
Nobody. Jose Maria was up there, and they talk about this Seve, but then do they talk about one of the greatest Spanish players of all time?
Amateur who sort of accidentally won that once. It was a fluke, and then of course Seve won it more than once. And then John Rahm won it.
I beat everybody out there. Was a legit man.
Twice Jose Maria won it.
I won the thing. I should be honored. I'm going to go eat meat on a stick now. I've had enough.
Just go do that. I'm tired of you, Seve. Sergio. I'm tired of you.
That's very nice. Thank you for respecting me by calling me Seve.
Yeah, you wish.
Thank you.
You wish you were anything near as good as he ever was.
It's a blessing to my heart, Jeffrey.
Go back to Saudi Arabia. We don't want to talk to you anymore. I mean, that's the first time I've ever been aggressive with Sergio Garcia, but I'm tired of his crap. Just tired of it. How dare you try to insert yourself into this moment?
You need something dug up at your house? I'll bring my pitching wedge and dig some holes in your front yard if you'd like. I mean,
with your accuracy, you'll never put the hole where I actually need it. No, thank you, Sergio. No, thank you. 888-368-1580.
So it was 7 over, by the way, Sergio.
Just 7 over.
You didn't have to bring that up, Keon. I've got friends looking for you now. That's it.
Yeah.
I've got these friends now.
Yeah, you're low on that. So John Rahm, one of the things that he started off rough, and he actually says he got jinxed by J.J. Watt and Zach Ertz. I guess before the play even began, they sent a text message over. It might have been a group text where he was like, "Hey, you'll have a great day. Just pretend like you're playing with Zach Ertz and I, J.J. Watt." He says, "You'll set the course record." And then Ertz jumped in. "Yeah, first hole green looks like a walk in the park." Yeah, not so much. That looked like a bad omen for John Rahm. And then he made good. So it just about was the opposite for John Rahm.
Yeah, settled down and they just played some good golf. And I got to tell you, the last day, 30 holes of golf or something like that. I mean, that is, especially when you're playing in a major tournament with weather looming. It's been a long week already, and you've got to focus for 30 holes in a row. I mean, you have no real break in there. I mean, what a fantastic win by John Rahm.
Yeah, and then, of course, J.J. Watt and Zach Ertz continued to troll him later. First off, J.J. Watt says, "Hey, I said pretend you're playing with us, not like us." And then, and then Ertz came back and said, "Hey, I apologize for absolutely nothing. You can expect these texts for every major going forward, my friend." So, yeah, it's careful who you make friends with, just be careful. So anyway, and then, of course, the sad, news is what we thought would happen is Tiger Woods, his leg just did not hold up, and he ended up having to withdraw even after he made the cut. What point did he pull out? Was it, okay, that's a bad phrase when I'm talking about Tiger Woods. At what point did he remove himself from the tournament?
It was at the beginning of round 3. Once he had made the cut after round 2, he and his team decided he can't do that. See, in Augusta, Georgia, you don't really see this on TV, but it's a very a grueling walk to walk that course. I mean, it's up the side of a hill. There's in one point you're teeing off, you go down into a valley that's like 43 feet down, and then back up the other side, almost an equal amount. So you're walking like down 43 feet on an incline, and then back up 43 feet on an incline. It's a grueling walk, and you're not on level ground anywhere on the golf course. The only time you're on level ground is when you get out of your car, or if you're on the golf range, warming up, because that's the rest of the course is not level ground anywhere.
I mean, I've never been to Augusta, but I have lived in Georgia, and I'll say it's just a hilly part of the world. And I mean, if you're just walking around in a city, there's a reason why most of those cities actually don't have much of a grid system. Because to build around the hills, you'd have to try and flatten all of them. It would cost so much money. So you just kind of build around and into all of it. And so Augusta is just a golf course on top of that landscape, and it's a lot if you're not in the shape to do it. And with Tiger's leg, nearly being destroyed and then reconstructed, he's just not in the place to do it.
King Kitten says, I dribbled chocolate on my shirt. Okay. Pinocchio says, dude, Rahm and Mickelson, first and second, ASU right there. We don't talk about Phil. I don't want to talk about Phil.
No.
Thunder Snow says, Randy Sergio Garcia, solid gold. Colts fan Dan says, the reason I stopped playing the stupid game of golf, besides being expensive, it wasn't fun or relaxing anymore. Being rushed by a-holes like Brooks Koepka. Yeah, what the hell? What was that? I mean, Brooks Koepka goes to the Live Tour now. All this he's on the Live, right?
He's
so now he comes back and just wants to talk a bunch of crap.
No, I don't think that was it. Brooks Koepka has been he's been extremely critical of the pace of play at any event, whether it was PGA or on the Live Tour. He wants a pace of play where people play what's called ready golf. In other words, you're not standing around watching the other guy hit. As soon as the guy swings, you get over your ball and you're ready to go. You hit away, clear the green when you're done, that sort of thing. But inevitably, he complains. The last several majors he's been in, that's been sort of the sub headline for him. The pace of play is just miserably slow out here.
I have an idea.
Oh, sorry, Jeffrey.
I have an idea. Let him go first. And then you never have to listen to him anymore. Yeah. Problem solved.
No.
And then he can just shut his stupid mouth.
Well, it's not going to solve a problem, because when you get on the tee box to tee off, the other group is still walking down the middle of the fairway. You could hit over them and just play right through them.
Isn't that what he did anyway?
No.
There was a point where Victor Hovland, was by the hole, and he looked back and he was waiting for Patrick Cantlay to come in so that he could actually get his shot.
Sorry, I just saw the ugliness of Ralph's hat. Sorry, Ralph just jumped on the screen there.
But yeah, Victor Hovland was just like, screw this. I'm not going to wait for Patrick to get here. I'm just going to hit it. So yeah, people had problems yesterday with how slow Patrick Cantlay was in particular. But
now you know why he can't lay. Okay.
All
right.
And then, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, the reason why they had their little rivalry for a while was obviously Randy talked about how Brooks likes to be ready to go. Bryson DeChambeau's the exact opposite person. He's got to measure this. He's got to stand there and look at it. And like by the time you're done, it's been 15 minutes. So they've always hated each other, because whenever they're in a group together, it's just horrible.
See, what Brooks doesn't care about is just get over the ball and putt, man. And what he doesn't seem to realize that these guys that are standing over the ball, they could be putting for $250,000 with this putt. They don't want to blow it. They want to make sure they have every opportunity to sink the ball. Where Brooks Koepka is just kind of a guy that measures it, kind of reads the green, walks up, hits the ball. He doesn't play a lot of games. He plays ready golf. I mean, he doesn't wait for people. When the guys ahead of him hit, I mean, he's ready to hit. That's just the way it is. He's a very fast player.
Hey, Ralph, can you hear us? I can see you there.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, there you are. All right, everybody good? Everybody can hear Ralph? Are we all set up? Are we ready to start the show?
Yeah, I can hear Ralph. Ralph. Yeah. Hi, Ralph.
So who did you have on the Masters this weekend? Who don't even say it was John Rahm.
No. I had Koepka.
Oh, that's right. Kaopectate. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, I think.
I got second. Second is good.
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
guess.
second.
Did you make money off it?
No.
Well,
I
I
don't
guess
bet-
seconds ain't worth a damn because Randy made money off first.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much did you
that
make,
was his
Randy?
pick.
How much did he make?
He made 200% of the money he put in.
Yeah.
So 50
Wait.
cents.
No,
I
it was
made 20 bucks.
No, it was 20 times what he put in. I don't know. We don't do math.
So you bet $1.
I bet $2.
$2 and got 20.
Yeah.
He put in 2, man. He ain't screwing around. He
Listen,
believed
I
in that
was a
bet.
big gambler this weekend, Jack.
Yeah.
Half his paycheck. That's good.
Get him a drink and a hotel room. Let's go.
Hello.
So the other thing that we'll use probably the last golf we're going to talk about for a minute, and that is, we were talking on Friday. We kind of rushed through it, talking about how Babe Ruth's bat went for a crazy amount of money, and Tom Brady's like a preseason game ball went for crazy money. Well, this is kind of backwards to me now. Tiger Woods, I guess. He was golfing because that's what he does. He was 21 years old, and it was during his first major title right there, right? And he was golfing, and he goes sees his kid who's 9 years old. This guy is a kid, Julian. He says, "Hey, kid, here's my ball." And he had Tiger stamped on the ball already, right? And it was a Titleist, and it was 1997 when he won the Masters. Anyway, so he gives his kid the ball, and he's like, "Hey, thanks, Tiger." And then now fast forward to now, "Oh, I want to sell Tiger's ball." And so he puts it up for auction, starts the bidding at $500, and it only went for $64,000. I'm actually surprised at how low that went, especially when a signed Tiger Woods ball last year went for $186,000. That is a ball from his very first Masters win. You think that might have gone for more? Or is it just because he didn't sign it?
Didn't sign it. Yeah, probably.
But there's pictures, or he's like where Woods bogeyed on the 5th hole, and he's like, "Here, kid, you can have it." And it's only worth $64,000 compared to some of the other ridiculous crap that goes for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Tiger Woods' very first Masters victory ball goes for $64,000.
Well, it wasn't the ball, right? I mean, he didn't walk off the 18th after winning the Masters and hand the ball off, did he?
No, this was on the 5th hole,
right,
where he had bogeyed,
right,
and he's just started like, "Oh, F this ball, here, kid."
Yeah, yeah. So I would say there's look. What do you want? Tiger Woods came up, gave you the golf ball. You just made $64,000 profit off of a free golf ball from Tiger Woods. I mean, I would be happy with that.
Yeah, he had to carry it around for all these years.
That was hard.
What a burden.
A little something for the effort, huh? So what the auction house said about this is, unless Tiger himself or his caddy Fluff intentionally saved a ball from that first round, which they doubt, that would be the only confirmed golf ball from the final round of Tiger Woods' first major championship victory. So there might still be some questions about this, even though they tried to do as many things, dozens of people who witnessed the moment. There was a thing in the newspaper, the Washington Times, the next day, and this Mexican kid signed a legal declaration saying, "This is the ball, this is the one, this is right." So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it went for less money because there could still be a shadow of a doubt about its origin. But for me, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. But don't you think that ball, if verified, should be worth more than some of the silly crap that's going for millions?
It wasn't verified, though. That was just it. It was this guy's word.
I think it was verified by the newspaper account, by the witnesses who were there, by everybody involved. And
you're going to probably find this ridiculous and probably rightfully so. But there are companies that grade these things, like they give you a grade, and so if there's not enough evidence there, or they feel like there's a gap in knowledge of where this thing came from, it's going to affect the grade of the item, and that's going to affect the price of the item.
Do you think that 9-iron that went up at the back of his head by his girl, do you think that's worth more?
Was it a 9 or was it a 7? I thought it was a 7.
It was a 9.
Was it?
I heard it was a 9. I don't know. I could be wrong.
So she was playing. She was playing a short 9 then. Okay.
Colts fan Dan says Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars would have offered him $500 for that. The historian says, historically speaking, the safety pin was patented by Walter Hunt on April 10th, 1849, and the New York Highlanders played their first Major League Baseball game as the Yankees, losing to the Washington Senators 2-1, historically speaking. Thank you, historian. You weren't here, Randy, but last week I kind of took him to task saying, hey, if you're going to be the historian, we'd like to get some historical facts from you.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But be careful, historian, that you don't tiptoe into the purview of Big George with his On This Date in Big George's sports history. So I'm just going to caution you. I just don't want to see a clash of the Titan. Well, maybe we do. I don't know. King Kitten says, come on, Jeffrey. Every Perkins waitress has pictures of Tigers balls. Okay. Well, I mean, we've all seen Tigers balls. Every time he's golfing, he's putting them, he's driving them, he's picking them up, he's rolling them around in his hand. So we've all seen Tigers balls.
Yeah.
A-Wings 22 says zero sympathy for Eldrick between roids, women, alcohol, and no one to blame to himself. Time to hang it up. Love Brooks' idea of ready golf. Too much standing around. It's not heart surgery. Hit your ball. Let's go.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a couple of things all sort of, I know Eldrick is Tiger. I get that, but,
there's no proof that Tiger took roids. So I don't know that we're necessarily going to roll that one out there. That's,
I like that you only be able to defend one part of that sentence.
Well, it's the only part of the sentence to me that matters. The part that affects the golf. I don't care about the rest of it.
Whether he took the roids or not, it didn't help his golf. It hurt his golf because when he bulked up, it destroyed his game for a while.
It did.
So how's that performance enhancing?
That and the Marine training he was doing for no reason because it wasn't to be a Marine. So look, for me though, it's just about Tiger didn't take steroids that we know of. And so you can't say that he's a roid
user. Brand we haven't heard of? Is that what you're saying?
Look, not everything's testable. So I'm not going to say with absolute certainty that I know. I don't know Tiger Woods personally. He says he didn't.
What brand do you take?
But what brand of steroids?
I just want to see if you get a better deal than
I don't even know the
clearly look at these guns.
I don't know the names of the brands. The point is,
he's got a guy. Okay.
The point is, Tiger, I just don't want to have that accusation lobbed out there like, hey, I heard on the blender, Tiger took steroids. We don't know that. We're not saying that. I'm just saying the texter texted it and nobody checked it. I'm checking
I also, in that case, don't care if he took steroids. Didn't help him. Big George says, hey, historian, stay in your lane. You just spoiled my On This Date in sports history. And then historian says, well, I'm 6'4", 270. I'm not really a match for Big George. Yeah, so you might want to consider that lane. That's all I'm saying. Hey, now that Ralph from Harman Solar is with us, let's take a break. And when we come back and get over what he's wearing, what we'll do is we'll talk about, I don't know. What do you want to talk about, Ralph? I'm thinking baseball.
We could talk Lakers. We could talk Dodgers. I don't care.
Let's talk baseball when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks home to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Zach Gallen going up against Wade Miley. The Diamondbacks minus a run and a half plus 128 on the run line. Milwaukee getting a run and a half minus 154. On the money line, Milwaukee plus 120. The Diamondbacks minus 145. Over under run total is at 9. San Francisco hosting the Giants. Dodgers minus a run and a half plus 122. The Giants minus 146 on the run line. Money line, Los Angeles minus 146. The Giants plus 124. Over under is 7.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. With up to 40 days of consistent sin. All over Breeze car clips right on your face. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
Baseball is in full swing.
See you later!
And we've got the grand old game covered like an infield tug.
How about that?
Who's hot? Who's not? We've got the latest news, score, highlights, and info from around the league all season long.
It's a camper and it'll go all the way to the wall.
We are your MLB hookup.
Looking up and it's gone, a home run.
Get all the games you can handle on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Jamie Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Wow. You know, I don't even know what to say. Honestly, Diamondbacks just beat the Dodgers 3 games in a row, which means the Diamondbacks have beaten the Dodgers 5-3 so far in play this season. The Diamondbacks are now top of the National League West. They are 3rd in the National League overall, and they're 6th in the actual Major League Baseball overall. Too early to really matter. This also, and I said this before, could be a mirage. Don't get all excited, except for the fact they beat the hell out of the Dodgers. That we can enjoy. And I just got to say, Randy, before we jump on Ralph, what the hell is happening with this team? Are they good, or are the Dodgers just kind of worse than we thought they'd be?
I told you to kind of keep an eye on this team, and not that they would be this good this early. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying I think they'll surprise some people with the way they're going to compete this year. And they got that kid Drew Jameson. It's throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Has just been an absolute godsend for the bullpen of the Diamondbacks. They've managed to scratch out 29 runs in 3 games against a very good pitching staff against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they have put together an early start to the season that a lot of people are kind of like, their eyebrows are up. But again, it's a long season, it's a marathon. But boy, doesn't it feel good? The view from first place is pretty nice.
Yeah, and you can't even see the Dodgers because another team is in the way of them at second. But so Ralph, what's wrong with your team?
Well, first off, I would say, Randy, keep staring out that window because eventually they're going to kick you out of that room real quick. So don't enjoy it.
Okay.
Just keep it clean for the Dodgers. Thank you. So what's wrong with the Dodgers? I told you
pee all over it.
I would.
It's like I told you.
Tweaked in our pool. Why not?
It's like I told you last week. The Dodgers right now have a lot of pitchers that are out, 2 starters that are down, 3 or 4 bullpen guys that are down. They're going to hurt right now because the bullpen is not going to be that good, and that's okay. They're going to lose a couple of battles here and there. You can have the battles, no big deal. Enjoy them, because when it's all said and done, we'll win the war like we always do. So it's all about the wars, not the battles, guys.
It's gotta suck to really be worried and probably a little frightened of an upcoming game against the Washington Nationals.
The Dodgers are going to the Dodgers are going to struggle throughout April. There's no doubt about it.
I just don't think they're going to struggle against Washington.
Well,
no one's going to struggle.
They just don't have the bullpen right now. So I mean, tonight they got Urias going against the Giants. Depending how far he can go and what they have in the bullpen. I mean, again,
can I make a comparison? The Dodgers are like your internet right now. You pay a lot for it, but you're not getting what you hoped out of it because your signal's breaking up. You have the Dodgers of internet.
It just works on so many levels.
Is it really bad?
It's a little bit of going on there. A little bit. Yeah. We'll see what happens. 888-368-1580. Here comes George. By the way, for those of you who are new to the show, George doesn't immediately just want to fire everybody. He also goes the other direction where one good thing happens and we're going to the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
George says the Diamondbacks are for real. They got some good young players that know how to hit. Their bats have been hot, which is made up for some mediocre pitching. Going 6-4 in the first 10 after 8 games with the Dodgers and 2 with the Padres. You do have to admit the fact that they got through the Dodgers as well as they did. That's an encouraging sign. But again, as Ralph said, as Randy said, and as Keon weeps, it's a long season. Keon's weeping because he's a Nationals.
Yeah, different reason.
But it is a long season, and we don't face the Dodgers again, I think, until August sometime. first week of August, maybe. That's this new schedule that they have out. And I don't think we have the Dodgers down the stretch in September. So it'll be interesting to see how this season plays out. But for right now, I mean, the Diamondbacks, their hitting is good. They are actually playing some solid baseball. When they get a runner on, it's no longer just hit into a double play or fly out. They're actually trying to move the runner around and get him into scoring position. Then they're getting some timely hitting. And you kind of hope that this continues on because, boy, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, right now, Evan Longoria leads the team right now. He's got 2 home runs, I think, on the season, 3 home runs, 4 home runs, something like that. The guy's hitting the ball. We'll see what happens late in the season. But it feels good to be a competitive ball club, at least for right now.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, guys, it takes about 50 games to see what's really going on in baseball because you have 162 games. So let's talk in about 40 games and see where they're at. I can already tell you where they're going to be.
Did you say Longoria?
Longoria.
Oh, I think you said Longoria.
No.
Berg says excuses, Ralph. 1988 World Series champions and nothing since.
2020.
No.
Doesn't count. It's
you want me to go get that trophy too?
Big old.
I can go get it if you'd like.
If you have a copy,
I don't get copies. I get the real things.
Yeah.
Of course.
That should come with a bronzed mask on it because you want it during COVID. It doesn't count.
Of course it does.
Berg says Lawyer Berg agrees with the great Randino. Jagdog says Ralph is getting to play in. Okay. Here he says Ralph is getting to the play-in game, what you call winning the war.
Yes,
he's talking about the Lakers now. Yeah,
absolutely. Do you want me to show you my trophies from last week again? I mean, we can do this, guys. We can keep doing this.
Well, they're not from last week, are they?
It's your background. We
Quite
got
a ways back, aren't they?
Except for a COVID one, they're from a ways back. All of your trophies are from a ways back. You know, I mean, if you want to brag about your institutions, go ahead. But if you want to talk about current things, even within the last 5 years, minus COVID, what do you got?
Let me see. The Lakers are in the playoffs again. I'm
So
sorry.
The Suns have been in the playoffs like
the play.
The Suns have gone farther in the playoffs than your Lakers have.
Do you realize that as bad as the Lakers were to start the season, that went 2-10, I believe, they only had 2 less wins than the Suns did. And you're bragging about the Suns?
You have
really?
an erection. You have an erection over the fact that the Lakers we made the play-in after how hard a year it was and how bad we suck.
My point is, you talk bad about the Lakers all year, and they had struggles all year until they made the trade.
You talk bad about the Suns all
year. Well, because they're bad.
Well,
when it's all said and done,
the Suns had the same struggles.
Hang on, guys.
We have a real superstar.
I don't understand.
Hang on, guys. I have some. Wait, it's just coming in right now. Wait, what's that? Yes. Oh, okay.
Burn in hell, Lakers. Burn in hell, Lakers.
What's that?
Shut the hell up, Ralph.
Ah, sorry.
Like I said, Lakers will play into the 3rd round.
Dude, you're gonna be lucky to get past the Timberwolves. You should get past the Timberwolves, which is why I almost think you won't.
And you owe me a bottle.
What's that? What do I owe you a bottle for?
For Friday's game.
What happened on Friday?
The Lakers beat the
but you know what?
The Lakers beat our backups.
I'll get you that bottle, but you're going to need to squeeze your nose while you drink it because you let those backups give you a scare. You let those backups in close. Well, first, let's finish talking baseball, but we'll get around to the Phoenix Suns. I'm proud of those boys for the way they have handled themselves since Friday, even against the Clippers. You got to, I mean, there's no moral victories, but if you looked at what happened yesterday, you're like, oh, okay. Enough about our bench, right? 888-368-1580. Uh-oh, here comes Donnie. The Timberwolves are about to smash Adam Silver's baby boy tomorrow night. Big. What? Timberwolves, going after LeBron. He's basically saying that the Timberwolves will beat the LeBron Lakers tomorrow night.
If they don't beat themselves up.
Can I just say? Yeah.
One guy punching a wall. How intelligent was that? And then the two players on the bench fighting.
Yep. Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson.
And patient number one ended up being sent home.
Rudy Gobert.
Kyle Anderson called Rudy Gobert
like a go-go gadget fist. I mean, it was
actually impressive. I was surprised it contacted him. But Rudy Gobert hits the guy because the guy called him a bitch. Why did he call him a bitch? Then Rudy Gobert was playing injured, and then the other guy just inexplicably decides, I don't care for my hand. Bow! And now I don't know how the Timberwolves are going to be able to take out the Lakers. And this is the first
They're not.
time I was going to root for the Timberwolves because
Yeah,
I
they're not.
hope they take out the Lakers.
They won't.
I'll
They'll be-
laugh.
Not happening.
You think that the Lakers and the Suns will meet in the playoffs?
No, because I don't think the Suns will get past the Clippers.
Really?
The bench just about beat them.
All right, we'll see.
Did you miss the part where they were beating them up until late in the game, and the game ended the Clippers 119 to 114? The bench played, and guess what? Russell Westbrook and Kawhi Leonard were in the game, man.
Don't sleep on the Clippers.
Well,
Just telling
nobody
you.
said sleep on the Clippers, but if they can barely handle the bench, and I mean barely, how do you think they're going to have any chance?
You have to remember too, playoffs are different. When you're playing a team that's not playing any of their starters, you're going to play down to the level because you're going to be way overconfident. You're not going to be giving your best effort. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs start. But I think the Clippers
They
have a heck of a
needed
chance.
that game. They played that game like they meant it. They didn't ease up on the throttle, Ralph. That was the best of the Clippers at that moment. And if any one of the starters had been out there, it would have been a loss for the Clippers.
It's tough to get mentally ready for a bunch of guys you never heard of. So I'm just saying. That's just how it is. You know that. You've played sports.
It's not about getting mentally ready for the guys you've never heard of. It's about getting mentally ready to beat the team and to achieve your objective. They were not in a perfectly safe spot right there.
I know.
So, by the way, Al McCoy, it was nice that they honored him during the halftime, and he gave a little speech there, and they gave him a jersey. I'm sure he's sitting there going, "That's great. I got a jersey." Yeah, I would have like Keanu Reeves gave his stuntmen Rolexes. Just saying.
So do you think if let's just
I'm 89 years old, you bastards.
All the competition side, if the Suns were to win the NBA Finals, does Al McCoy get a ring?
Yeah,
he better.
Why wouldn't he?
What do you think, Ralph?
I don't think he has anything to worry about because he'll never see it. But but if they were to win, and of course. But I think it'll happen.
I think even if he retires, he gets a ring. Even if they win next year, he gets a ring. And I even said when Kevin Durant showed up, I'm like, I don't know if it'll be this year, but I think it could definitely be next year. I think they drive up to his house and they give him a ring because he's been just so much of a part of this team since 1972. I mean, he's all we've known. Yeah. And he's well known as one of the best in the business at what he does. And again, I'll never forget the time I got to sit there with Al McCoy and a bunch of the Phoenix Suns, and it was right after the Diamondbacks won the series, and so the trophy was there. And but he was really there to talk to a lesser broadcaster, Chick Hearn, and he sat there.
Whoa! And you better apologize right now.
And they sat there and they told stories.
Nope.
Have you ever heard that?
Nope. You need to apologize. The great Chick Hearn, you need to apologize right now.
Second place, Al McCoy.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Do you know I about killed him accidentally? Did I ever tell you the story?
I'm about to come to your house.
See what that gets you.
That is sacrilege.
Well, that's how we feel about Al McCoy, jackass.
Nope.
So no, I actually did. I almost physically hurt him accidentally, and it wasn't intentional. Because I'll tell this quick because I know I've told this more than a couple times. So we're all there, and Al McCoy and Chick Hearn are telling amazing stories, and it's great. And I got to have a nice conversation with Chick Hearn. I got to have a nice conversation with Al McCoy. It was just I couldn't believe I was in the room, to be honest. And so they come over as I'm talking to Chick Hearn, and they're like, "Hey, Jeffrey, you want to hold the trophy?" I'm like, the World Series trophy? Hell yeah, I want to hold that. And so they hand it to me. And as they hand it to me, I see one of the flags going ding, 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 like it's coming apart. It's coming off the trophy. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, in my head, I thought, oh God, if this thing breaks in my hands, you'll never see me or hear from me again. Everybody's going to hate me. And I saw that. I was like, oh God. And I looked over at Chick and I'm like, everybody loves Chick Hearn. If it breaks in his hand, then everything's going to be fine. So I shoved it into Chick Hearn. He's like, oh, it's heavier than I thought it would be. And then the thing went clank, clank, and they says, oh, no. Chick went, oh, no. And then they're like, oh, don't worry about it. That got banged up by Kevin Johnson in the parade when they went under a tree.
Randy Johnson in the parade.
Randy Johnson, yeah. And I was just like, oh, thank God. But Chick was like, he was like overwhelmed. He was like, that thing's heavier than I thought it'd be. So I almost killed Chick Hearn.
You tried to physically hurt Chick Hearn for your benefit.
Trying to protect myself. Yes.
Horrible.
Here, you take it.
It's horrible.
If that thing, I'm right though. If I'm a nobody, if that thing broke in my hand, I'd have been sent head first out of the place. That would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
You'd be like the guy in the Cubs audience, like that got interfered with that ball, whatever his name was.
Oh yeah. The Ralph from Harvard. Bartman. That's
Steve
right.
Bartman.
And I'll tell you who would have been doing the throwing. Giant toothy Tom Chambers was there, and Dan Marley, and some other people that would have made it easy to. I would have cleared traffic. They could have thrown me out so hard. So yeah, but no. In all honesty, Chick Hearn was sweetest. It was some amazing stories, and yes, he's one of the best in the biz. Yeah,
No, he's the best.
After Al
He's
McCoy.
the best. Nobody called the game like Chick Hearn.
In your book.
Except for Al McCoy.
In everyone's book.
Nobody's book.
Not in my
Kez
book.
the Cook says, never apologize about a guy named Chick. Hey, come on, man.
I mean, even Chick has a banner up at Staples. I mean, come on.
Why did he go by Chick? I never knew that. I should have asked him that when I was there with him. But he was mainlining some heroin. I didn't want to bother. Just want to see how much I can ruin Chick Hearn before Ralph really loses it.
I'm going to lose my crap in a second. Yeah.
Well, anyways, we got to take a break. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
And now coming in at number one. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken's $5 mac and cheese bowl.
Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. 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 For $5.
Oh, yeah, baby. Order KFC's $5 mac and cheese bowls on the app. Back for a limited time in original or spicy. That figure looking good. Price participation may vary for a limited time only.
With LifeWell, help is here to support our community with counseling, housing services, and addiction treatment. We focus on adults and young adults with financial need. Learn more at lifewell.us and join our team to make a difference in the lives of others. We are hiring counselors, nursing staff, psychiatrists, and more. Start a career of hope, health, and healing at lifewell.us. This message is sponsored by LifeWell and a Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust COVID Response Grant.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got to get caught up on the text line because it's been a bit busy. Let's see. Mr. Pringle says Kyrie arrived in Dallas and led the Mavericks to completely out of the playoffs. Well done. That is true. Bruno Baller says the Brewers are off to a 7-2 start themselves. It could be an interesting series with the Diamondbacks starting tonight.
Could be, but tonight, Zach Gallen on the hill, and he's been roughed up the first part of this season. He's got a 7+ ERA right now. So
the Berg says the Suns caused COVID. Never forget. What do you mean the Suns? That wasn't the Suns. That was Rudy Gobert that caused COVID. What are you talking about? Silver Pops says, good afternoon, guys. Happy Monday. Might I be able to request the updated Burn in Hell Lakers song?
Yes, absolutely.
Burn in hell, Lakers. Burn in hell, Lakers. Shut the hell up, Ralph.
See, Ralph, we like to give our fans what they want, unlike the Lakers. Mr. Pink Eye says, hey, has that dinner date happened yet? Will there be a double or nothing bet? No, there's no double or nothing bet, but no, we haven't quite arranged the dinner yet.
Somebody was chicken.
Smart.
Hey,
At least you got
just didn't want to bet on backups. I can't imagine
a little bottle of whiskey out of it. Jagdog says Lakers are plus 1,800 to win the title. Did you put some solar cash on this to happen, Ralph?
I'm gonna go put $10.
Wow, you're confident. Against the Spread says the Suns will sweep the Clippers, especially with Paul George out. Yeah. Paul George. What's the story on him right now?
Next question.
All right. Big George says Al McCoy did beat Chick Hearn in the game of life. Al McCoy is 89 and will be 90 in a couple of weeks. Chick Hearn died at the age of 85 in 2002, shortly after he met Jeffrey O'Brien. Coincidence? I think not. Don't put that on me, George.
See, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I killed Chick Hearn. Whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
I like the guy. Him and I had a very nice conversation. I got to talk to Chick Hearn. You didn't, Ralph.
I got to listen to him all the time, and it was just wonderful.
Yeah, but I got to listen to him and say things to him. It was two-way conversation when I got to do it.
But the whole time he's probably sitting there going, who is this guy?
He said, why is he throwing a trophy at me?
Right. Who knows this guy?
Mr. Wilbur says, it's Chick because Gerbil was taken.
Excuse me?
He says, actually, I love Chick Hearn. He's also one of the greats. Cabana says, hey, Ralphie boy, how many solar panels would I need to charge a new electric Hummer? I've been told it takes 30 hours to charge when almost uncharged. That's a fair question. Yeah, let's talk about that because I mentioned that in the commercial. We got all these electric cars and stuff coming out, and we've heard some of the stories how so if you use regular power, it'll take like 5 days to charge up a truck, and if it's a Ford, you should probably set it on fire. And then there's like the superchargers, but then you have to get industrial power in the house and all that stuff. Let's go ahead, Ralph. Let's have you answer this question since you know nothing about basketball and see what.
Damn, Ralph. Are you sorry you came on the show today?
Very.
And well, let's see what happens. Like a Hummer. How long? Probably something else he doesn't know anything about Hummers. And see how long does it take to charge a giant electric vehicle?
So first off, with electric vehicles, you can at your home you can put a fast charge, like a level 2 charger in your home, and that'd be the best way to do it. You don't want to plug it into a regular outlet because it'll take overnight. It'll take all night to charge almost any car. But if you put a quick charger or a fast charger in your house, you're looking at probably a few hours, maybe 3-4 hours, depending on the car. It's not that bad, actually. And so what we do is when we install solar, a lot of people want those fast chargers, quick chargers in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So we install them as well. And then so people will use them at night. And then they might have batteries or things on top of that too. And then they take that power and they use it to charge the charger again the next day and the next day and the next day. So about 3-4 hours with a quick charger. Not that bad.
So solar powers charge the batteries hit the charger hits the vehicle. And if you do it right, then it's all free from the sun.
That's one way to do it. Yes. It's definitely one way to do it.
Well, what's a better way?
Well, you don't have to have the battery. You can just have the solar panels and all the other stuff. And you want to charge at night. You never want to charge during the day because you don't want to get caught maybe using the higher end electricity, because electricity during the day is usually 3-4 times more expensive, which is why you have the solar to offset that. But if you're going to have a car that you're going to charge, you're basically going to charge it every night. You bring it home, you charge it at night, and then you go use it during the day. I don't know much about the Hummer one. I mean, I'm sure it's probably got a bigger battery than the Tesla, I'm assuming. I don't know for sure. So I have no idea. I know the Ford F-150 Lightning is a pretty cool car because you could actually, with the battery in that car, if you had an outage in your home, you could actually feed off that battery and keep things in your house powered.
You can't just do that with any of them?
No, it has to be a certain setup to do that. They're starting to do it more and more now in the setups, but the Lightning was the first one that I've seen that does it.
Yeah, but then you own a Ford. So I just
$100,000 Ford.
Well, everything's $100,000 now, Ralph. Everything. I'm going to ask you.
That's true.
Well, his is 100,000 liability. Anyway, let me ask you.
At this point, it just costs more to have it.
Right. It breaks down. He's just walking. He's just calling a cab. I'm out. So let me ask you about this. This is, I got my laptop here, and they always say you always just leave your laptop plugged in, and the battery never goes down. Then next time you try to use it, it'll go down quicker. The battery will lose its charge quicker. Is that the same thing for electric cars? If you don't let them go down, like if you go, like I go to the store, I come back, I plug it in. I go to the store, I come back, I plug it in, and the battery never drops enough to recharge. Is that bad for the car?
It's always bad for the batteries, period. You need to let a battery discharge to a point. If you don't do that and you constantly keep your laptop or whatever else charged all the time, you are going to ruin the battery life quicker.
Well, the problem is if you let the car do that, you might end up like Keon walking, and that's a bad thing.
Well, no, I haven't walked yet.
You got to time it just right.
Hold on.
To charge the vehicle.
Look, I understand I'm on borrowed time, but I have not yet walked.
Wait, Keon, Keon, you have one of those electric cars?
No.
If you don't get it registered, you'll be walking backwards like this. You know what I mean?
Would you get an electric car?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you?
No. Hell no.
Randy says no. I am a little more realistic, knowing that eventually you probably have to. It'll be. I won't do it till I have to. But I did like the way that new Dodge Ram Rev 1500 looks. At first, they came out with this super cool and sexy looking truck, and then they're like, "Just kidding, this is not what it's going to look like." And it looks more like the regular trucks. And I'm kind of like, "All right, well, when they make me, then okay." But until then, I got a Hemi. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to drive the V8 and be happy.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's no stopping it. So. I'm not as picky as Randy is about it.
Well, I don't think there'll ever be a day that you have to get one personally, but that's just me.
It might be a thing where you have to because what'll happen is the more electric cars, you would hope that the gas prices would drop because there would be less demand for the gas because more people are driving electric cars. So what'll happen is first thing that happens is the gas prices will kind of come down, and then they're going to go up again because then there's fewer people buying gas, and they've got to make that money off that anyway. So there's going to be like a bounce, and then it's going to get to a point where you can't find gas anywhere. And it's like, okay, it's too expensive to buy the gas. It's too much to pay in the ass. I'll just get electric. And it's just going to be like that. That's how the whole thing is going to change.
Think so.
Yeah.
I'll be dead by
you
then.
should know better than me, Ralph.
Yeah, I just don't think that the electric car is ever going to get as big as people think it's going to get. I just don't. That's just my personal opinion.
Would they work out the bugs and the problems? I think they will. Do you hear they discontinued the Camaro?
No.
Yeah, at first they discontinued the Challenger because they're turning that into the electric Charger, which Challenger, Charger, whatever. And then I think they're getting ready to do the same thing with the Camaro. That's why they're discontinuing that. So a lot of muscle cars are going the way of the Dodo, and those are the first pins to fall.
They got rid of the Challenger, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the Challenger. This is last year for the Challenger.
Such a nice car, too.
I agree. I've loved them. I've had a couple, and I'd rather have a Hellcat than a lithium battery any day of the week.
Yeah.
Kiss the Cook. Oh, I'm sorry. Cabana says, how much does a supercharger cost? I think you mean fast charger. How much does that cost?
Depending the model you get, you're going to pay anywhere from $400 to $800 for the charger. It's not expensive. Not that bad.
Kiss the Cook says tangential thoughts about Chick Hearn. I wonder if he looked like a girl when he was younger. He's Chick. What was his sister's name? He must have been pals with Truman Capote. There's a lot of just sort of bizarre thoughts. And
he's called Chick because when he was in college, they played a prank on him, and he thought he was going to go pick up his shoes out of a shoebox. When he opened up his shoebox, there was a dead chicken in there. And he
hilarious.
He got the nickname Chick. That's the truth.
Not only do they do a dark prank, then they use that to give him his nickname. I don't think I'd have continued with Chick after college. You know what I mean?
The thing is, once people keep calling you that, then that's,
that's why this show is such a special place, because you can come here and choose your own nickname. Hey, you see any chicks on the text line? I mean, we got gals, but there's no chick on there. Bruno Baller says, do they have solar panels for RVs and vehicles like that?
Yeah, those are very popular. There's a lot of RV companies that'll put those on there for you. They're smaller. The setup's a little different, but yeah, a lot of people do that on their RVs. If I had an RV, you absolutely would want to do that. It makes
how many of those little golf cart batteries? Like 4? You like 4 in a solar panel up there?
It depends. I mean, there's definitely a few batteries, but it's a great setup if you're camping and stuff. You definitely want to do that.
By the way, Bruno Baller says Francis Dale Hearn is Chick Hearn's real name. Mm-hmm. He says, I know that because I looked it up. Tiger Paws said she's now shown me. Okay, gonna have to give you this public service, but she shows this picture of her car saying it's 101 degrees. She says this is so wrong for this time of the year. Actually, it's normal. Let me two things. It's normal to have 90-degree temperatures on Easter. It happens more often than you know. And second, I want to remind everybody, when you get in your car and you see the temperature on there, that is not the actual outside air temperature. That is the temperature of what it's reading under your hood. And what happens is you drive, the air goes across that, then you get a sense of what the actual outside air is. But when you get in and it says 100 or 130 or 180, that's not reality. So stop taking pictures of it and putting it on social media. I know that's not what you're doing, Tiger Paws, and I know you probably already know that, but just seeing those numbers is wrong for this time of year. And that I do agree with you. But I just wanted to make that public service announcement for everybody else. Stop posting that crap. Stop it. 888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner says, guys, it'll cost as much in fossil fuels. How many thinks we care about fossil fuels? It'll cost as much in fossil fuel to build the good old electric PC of garbage. Give me a gas guzzler. You realize how I'll just let it sit there by itself.
I mean, there's an argument there.
The jet, I don't care about the carbon footprint. You know what I care about? Clean air. I like to I don't care if some lithium battery sits somewhere in a landfill. I ain't gonna live near a landfill, neither my kids. So who cares? The Grand Canyon is giant. Let's throw all the garbage and all the dead lithium batteries and nuclear waste in there, and then we don't ever have to see it again.
It's not about the lithium battery, it's about the mining of the lithium. The amount of fossil fuels that you use in pollution create mining lithium is actually more.
Not if we start using electric diggers,
You could, but the countries where we're mining this stuff from like to use children. So it's
it's not great.
Right.
No,
Right.
Use children. That way we don't have to. The carbon footprint's much smaller.
I mean, Nike did it. Come on.
Give them Nike shoes to further the irony.
Damn, like if you really
made by other kids, and then get them kids digging up that lithium. Come on. There we go. We'll save the planet together. I don't think we should be in charge of anything. This is the way.
I don't think we are in charge of anything.
Oh, the jet sent his picture of 101 degrees. All right, knock it off. 888-368-1580. So let me get back to this. You have to admit, watching the Lakers game and watching the Clippers game, the bench seems like they're playing a whole hell of a lot better than they used to. I think the time together and a longer amount of time has helped them with this. This is great practice for the bench.
Not to say I told you so, but I never thought the bench was depleted. The people who got traded from the Suns were 2 starters. The bench was fine. The question was the production of the 2 guys who lost. Could Kevin Durant give you that back and more? And could he stay healthy long enough to deliver on it? That was always
the question now going into the postseason. Is Landry Shamet going to be okay?
What happened to Shamet, damn it?
He got injured this
When
weekend.
did that happen?
Yeah, this weekend.
On Friday? Because I wasn't paying attention on Sunday.
I thought it was a hamstring. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. All right. Well, listen, that is 1 hour down and we got a couple to go. When we come back, we'll sort of wrap up the regular season of the NBA, talk a little bit more baseball and other stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Tide Power Pods have 85% more Tide.
Who needs that much more Tide?
Well, when giving your muddy dog a bath turns into you getting a mud shower. Yikes, you're gonna need more Tide.
when your wine tasting becomes a wine spilling. Yeah, you're gonna need more Tide. Or if your favorite shirt is your kid's favorite napkin. Great, I'm gonna need more Tide. My mom gave me that shirt.
It's a mess out there. Tide Power Pods have 85% more Tide versus Tide Pods.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-704-9936. 800-704-9936. 800-704-9936.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants and stuff.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we believe in the holistic approach to wealth management, which means that in addition to investing your money, we work with you to establish your short and long-term financial goals to live comfortably now and throughout your retirement. For all the clients we serve, none of them have the same financial resources, risk appetites, and goals. Therefore, we customize a plan for every individual we work with. We also know that your needs and wants will change over time. So we stay in close communication to ensure that your investments and financial plans change with you. If you're looking for this kind of service, call me at 1-800-388-9700 and let's talk about your financial goals and the holistic approach to wealth management. Call 1-800-388-9700. That's 1-800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph here with us from Harmon Solar. Keon's in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And as I hope Tiger Paws does know that I meant her no disrespect and figured she knew. It was just hard to see the numbers that she says, I've been driving for a while. I'm not novice to Arizona. I know it's always higher when you first turn the car on. I figured you did, and I thought I'd said as much. So if I offended you, well, it's not the first woman I've done that with today. Hook'em Hottie says, Earth Day is a few weeks away. Nice to see you're thinking ahead. Yeah, here's my message on Earth Day. Hey, it's Earth Day. Just don't, throw any gum on the ground or something, Just try to get the gum in the trash. That's all. 888-368-1580. So it's the end of the regular NBA season and almost the end of the Lakers season. So let's talk about some other notable things that happened to end the regular season. Remember our friend Mikal Bridges? It was nice of the Brooklyn Nets to let him step out on the court for 40 seconds or whatever it was to he never missed a game in his NBA career. And so he actually went out for 4 seconds and committed an intentional foul and then left the game. And they just said, hey, go out there and do that. Now you get your career amount of games going on. So how many games is that now? 300 and something that Mikal has played. I know that he kept the streak alive, but I can't remember how many games it was. And then the Chicago Bulls, they're playing in the play-in tournament this week, and of course during the game for them, Patrick Beverley broke out the too small celebration after he scored over Jalen Duren, and then he threw a bad alley-oop to Zach LaVine, who missed the dunk. LaVine and Vucevic got the loose ball out of bounds, and that was just ugly for them. So yes, there goes the Bulls. And somebody went to Popovich and says, "Hey, what are you most excited about going into today's game?" He's like, "The season will be over in 48 minutes. That's what I'm excited about." Well, yeah, you're the Spurs. Golden State Warriors scored 55 points in the first quarter against the Portland Trailblazers, and then they won the game by 56 points.
It's just hilarious to me that the league is investigating the Mavs for tanking after what the Trailblazers did the last 2 months of the season. They were not even trying.
Yeah,
they're not even
tanking. And then the Spurs outscored Luka, and of course no Kyrie, but still 42-14 in the first quarter to get their 22nd win. So yeah, the Mavericks, that's a bleep show for sure. So those are some things that happened in the season. And of course, Udonis Haslem, he has finally retired at the age of 42. If somebody puts a rocking chair in front of me at a retirement ceremony, I will bust that thing up into pieces of wood that I will use to beat everybody with. I thought that was just a real dick move. Like here you go on the court before the game. It's your rocking chair.
Stand by. I have to text someone in Pennsylvania, the Amish community right now.
I will beat the hell out of anyone. It'll be a Donnybrook, me versus everyone. You give me a damn rocking chair.
I'm surprised he didn't do it.
He's the kind of guy to do it. So Adonis then to sort of, I don't know, just show he was leaving even maybe before he had to. At least he just wanted it to look that way. And so he got a couple of 3-pointers, and he got a rebound before the end of everything. So, good for him. Good for him. But still, it's kind of a dick move, isn't it? So any other, end of season NBA business anybody want to talk about? Is there anything that we need to think about with these Phoenix Suns? They're going to be healthy come Sunday when they play the Clippers. And, just anybody have any notes, any thoughts, or even about any team in the NBA?
It's just nice. I mean, speaking from a hometown guy, it's just nice to see the Suns are healthy and kind of in a good rhythm heading into to playoff time. I mean, I'm happy about that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. How about your Washington Wizards? Anything you want to say about anything?
No, I mean they've been tanking since about January, and
they've been tanking for like the last decade.
That's not true. What do you mean? They made the playoffs like 4 or 5 times in the last decade. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just never remember them.
You don't watch the Eastern Conference, which is okay.
I never remember them. I see the playoffs. I just never. They're unremarkable.
You don't have to. I mean,
it's that girl whose name I can't ever remember.
But they've been they just seem they could never get out of the second round. So. That's part of what it was, but
you looking forward to next year?
Yes. Bradley Beal's going to be healthier. We got an actually healthy season out of Kristaps Porzingis. Look, the Wizards missed the playoffs this year, but they were competitive while they were trying. So I'm not looking at a team that's just like the Nationals, where it's just like, oh, there's just no hope here. Like, why am I even watching this sport? That's not how I felt watching the Wizards this year. I don't really like their coach very much. Which is a shame because he's the son of one of the great players of the franchise, Wes Unseld. But still, I ultimately like the direction that the Wizards are moving in, and they're in a good spot to where maybe they may be able to jump up in the draft and get an actual point guard.
I feel like maybe I should excuse myself. Right now, the WNBA draft is on, and I'd really like to watch that.
I somehow don't think that you care. I can't imagine. This is just thoughts crossing my mind. I just can't think of any reason why you've given me to indicate that you don't care, but I just don't think you care.
I just want to go do something else. All right. So now to you, Ralph, your Los Angeles Lakers are playing the Minnesota Timber Pups. That is tomorrow night. I think it's at 7:00 our time. I just want to find out if you can stop being an insufferable homer for a second and actually say some real things about this team. And even if they are able to defeat the Minnesota Timberwolves, what their chances are going forward against real teams.
So I think, I think the Lakers win tomorrow. They probably win like 122 to 110. I think that's going to be tomorrow's game. The Lakers are probably the healthiest they've been all season right now, which is a good thing going into the playoffs. So, I mean, LeBron's healthy. He had like 9 games to get ready for the playoffs. AD's as healthy as he's going to be, considering who he is. Reeves is playing great. The Lakers are gelling. They're playing really good basketball. They're playing very good defensive basketball. I think they have a legitimate shot to make some noise in the playoffs. I mean, that's not my insufferable opinion. I think that's a real opinion. You could probably validate that with Keon. I think they can make some noise. I think they get past. They're going to get past, obviously, Minnesota. Then I think they would play Memphis, who I think they have a really good shot of beating in a series. And then we'll see from there. I mean, I think then it's going to get tough. So,
well, I understand, Ralph. The insufferable part isn't your knowledge; it's your homerism. That's the part that's insufferable. The other part, I'll listen to what you're actually saying, and you don't have to go running to Keon just to verify.
No, I just think that Keon's our basketball expert.
He's going to tell on me,
and he's using me as the impartial kind of guy. So I appreciate that.
You also have a bad team. Okay, so what do you agree with what he's saying?
I do. I think I was a little skeptical of the Darvin Ham hire, but the guy knows defense, man. Like he showed up and they immediately became a better defensive team. And the trade was both, you get D'Angelo Russell and that makes you better, but you also lose Russ Westbrook, who's just not a good fit. Like they just brought in a guy and asked him to do a bunch of stuff playing alongside LeBron and AD that he doesn't ever do. He's never done it. And so I do think, Pelinka deserves some credit for getting out of that mistake relatively unharmed. And I'm happy for Russ because he's going to be, playing on a team that actually kind of matches his skill set a whole lot more. And I'm looking forward to that Suns Clippers series. And then for the Lakers, I mean, the Grizzlies have been really, really good this year, but there's been a lot of weird stuff going on with the Ja Morant stuff lately. And Dylan Brooks, is he going to be able to play a whole series without getting suspended? Like there's a whole bunch of question marks with the Grizzlies where like the Lakers could actually beat them.
All right, help me out here. If the Lakers beat the Timberwolves, then they have to play the winner of Oklahoma City and New Orleans?
No, they're automatically in.
Oh, okay.
They become the 7th seed at that point.
All right, let me scroll down here to see who they're going to get beat by.
Memphis. They play Memphis.
Oh, they play Memphis?
Yeah.
How do you like their chances against Memphis?
Yeah, I think that they've got a good chance. I mean, in the series, if Memphis is fully healthy, I'm inclined to pick Memphis. They're not young kids anymore. They've been to the playoffs. They're going to have some of that playoff seasoning. But Dylan Brooks could get himself ejected in any game in this series. And then what do you do if you have to play 2 games without your best defensive player? He's annoying, but he is really good. And then you've got Ja Morant, who is so reckless in the postseason. We've seen it now a couple of times where he just goes to the basket with no care for his body, and then he's out.
Reckless abandon.
Yeah, and I just think that there are some things there with the Grizzlies and the way that they play. I like them, but the Lakers definitely have a chance.
I'll tell you, it's more interesting when the Lakers are there. And whatever could happen that the Suns would play the Lakers, I would love that.
I don't think they can meet until the conference championship.
Yeah,
right?
That'll work.
That'd be the only way they could meet. So
that'll work. But honestly, I'm glad the Lakers are there because it'll just be more fun. 888-368-1580. Average Joe says the difference with the Mavs is because the Knicks would have gotten their draft pick if they fell out of the top 10. Because of the Mavs benching, they kept the pick. It wasn't about tanking for a better chance at the top picks. It was protecting something in a trade, huh?
Yeah, the pick was a top 10 protected pick. So they were just inside the range of where they made sure to lose so that they were just in the range of where they could keep their pick.
Well, now that is just a signal to every other team: don't trade with the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? That's just a signal that they'll do you dirty if you're not careful. Mr. Pringle says, if I'm the Suns coach, I'm not having my team practice any layups for a few days. Well, at least one guy. 888-368-1580. So the play-in tournament looks like this. Tomorrow, about this time, Atlanta is going to be playing Miami. So the Atlanta Falcons versus the Miami Heat.
The Atlanta Hawks.
No, the Atlanta Hawks are not available. So the Falcons will be playing.
Desmond Ridder's going to be starting at point guard.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a kicker who's just going to try to kick the ball into the net.
Maybe get Calais Campbell to be your center.
Oh, dear God. He'd be a beast. All right. So what do you think, guys? Atlanta versus the Miami Heat.
Heat.
Yeah, I'm going Heat. They're one of those teams. They're almost what the Lakers are in the East in terms of they're in that play-in game, but you don't really want to see them. Like if they make the playoffs, they're not going to be very fun to play. And Jimmy Butler, this last month of the season, he always finds the rhythm right before the playoffs start, and he's done it again. He looks like the Jimmy Butler who's under control, because sometimes he thinks he has to take over the game to win it. But honestly, when he scores around 20-25, that's when everybody else is able to get involved in the offense too. I'm going to go with the Heat. Yeah.
All right. So what do you say, Ralph? You like Atlanta or you like the Heat?
Where's the game at?
It's in Miami.
It's in Miami. Yeah, I'm going to say Heat.
You find them so equal that was your deciding factor?
It was. I think either one of them could win.
They're both good teams.
I like the home game. So
Kathy Lefty says Young Hoku would probably be better defensively than Trae Young. Hook'em Hottie says, as a Mavs fan, we'd rather tank and build around Luka than go on some fake playoffs. You mean the play-in? I got you. All right. So everybody's saying the Miami Heat. All right. So Ralph, you'll abstain. Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Lakers. I mean, Ralph's going to say Lakers. I'm going to say probably Lakers, just because all the dysfunction with the Timberwolves, or this will be the thing that in a locker room, they'll galvanize them, except for the guy with the broken hand, and they'll go out there and can they do it without the guy with the busted hand?
Yeah, I think they can. The motor of their team is more, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. To me, it's the guy that got tossed for punching his teammate, Rudy Gobert. That makes me wonder whether or not they can, because they've been relying on him a lot. They can win without him, but they're able to do things with Karl Anthony Towns more as a power forward than center when Gobert's out there. And Gobert's not going to play. He's suspended for the game. So that's where, I was already thinking Lakers, but now I'm really thinking Lakers, because you're going to ask Karl Anthony Towns to be a center, and he really doesn't want to.
Lakers have gotten their act together at the end of the season. It's suspiciously right on time for some playoff action,
Suspiciously.
So, Randy, how do you feel about this?
I feel like the Lakers are playing a good ball right now, and I think they've been sort of reinvigorated from this trade. I'll have to go Lakers on this one.
And Ralph is going Timberwolves. All right, moving on.
Yes, definitely.
Well, Ralph already kind of gave his spiel on the Lakers earlier.
Yeah, I already did. I'm good.
Yeah. On Wednesday at 4 p.m., the Bulls are taking on the Toronto Raptors. Keon, I'll let you start. It's it's 9th place versus 10th place. What's going on? Who do you like?
Yeah, this is one of the things I kind of like about the play-in game is that you've got some teams that are actually really evenly matched in this desperate one-off, and you're either in or you're out. I think that the Raptors have a lot of stuff going on. There's a ton of guys on that team that are not happy. The coach is openly considering and talking about leaving and going somewhere else to be a head coach. That I just don't like where the Raptors are as a team right now. They seem to be falling apart. The Bulls, they're scrappy and they're fun. And so I really think that in a game where you have to really care to go on and advance, I think the Bulls care more. And these two teams are equally matched. I'm going to go Chicago.
If that's what you go for, then I go for that too, because with all that dysfunction, it's not going to give you. And all the teams in the play-in are the kind of team who, well, maybe they can, maybe they can't. You just don't know what's going to happen when they play other teams. But now you're looking at more evenly matched teams, so some of these X factors the motivation of this or that is going to come into play. The emotion, the psychology is going to come into play when you've got teams like this more evenly matched. Or what do you say, Ralph? You like the Bulls or you like the Raptors?
Yeah, I don't like either one of them, but since I have to pick one, I was going to go with everything that you just said. I mean, I think I like the Bulls. I like them. I like that they're scrappy. I think they're scrappy enough to win a game like this. I mean, so again, either team can win this game. They're the same, but I like the Bulls. I go with the Bulls.
How about you, Randy?
Yeah, I agree with Ralph and Keon. I think the Bulls are probably the most realized team. There's too many question marks in my mind with this Raptors team. Although the Raptors do have a lot of guys that have a lot of playoff experience, I just don't think they're playing together as a unit. And I think the Bulls are ready to face this task. So I'll take the Chicago Bulls.
Well, you say you agree with Keon and Ralph, but they agreed with me. So does that mean you?
I agree with you then. Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got left out.
I didn't hear you agree to that. I didn't hear you talk this. So
you heard Ralph agree with me and Keon.
Okay.
Him,
oh, well then,
so
by all means,
nature of agreeing with him,
I do apologize for stepping on your delicate flower petals.
A little credit.
Sorry about that. Yes,
I said right things too. All right, and then the last game, Oklahoma City Thunder versus New Orleans Pelicans. How the hell are the Pelicans still in this? Anyway,
they're good.
Yeah, it's a good team, man.
Every time I hear Pelicans, I just think that's a horrible team, even when they're good. It's because it's just a horrible name. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine any team being good called the Pelicans. So that's my bad. So we'll start with Ralph on this. Since you spend a lot of time in Oklahoma City, it's had absolutely no effect on your IQ whatsoever. And then, I don't know what you know about New Orleans, but what do you think about this game?
I think Oklahoma City is such a bad road team that they're going to really struggle in this game. I want to take them because we are out there now and we know the people and they're all excited about this game. They've all been talking about it, but I just don't think that Oklahoma on the road is going to be successful. I think they're going to lose to New Orleans.
So when you're in Oklahoma City and you start to cry, does that make mud balls in the dirt off the faces of everyone there? Is it kind of hard to look at, I think. But Randy, what do you think? Oklahoma City or Pelicans?
Pelicans are a great team. Just imagine how great they would be if they had Zion back. I mean, too bad that he's going to be a giant NBA bust. But the bottom line is, I think the Pelicans are a better team. So give me New Orleans.
All right, Keon, what say ye?
I think the Pelicans are the better team too. And I just think the Thunder team, this is their first taste of the postseason. I like those guys. They're a bunch of young guys. They're exciting. On my league pass watch, that's a team that I watch if I don't have any team that I support that's playing, just because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an awesome player. That dude's going to be incredible. When the Suns played them, he was going back and forth with Durant. And they ended up not winning the game, but he's an incredible player. They've got Josh Giddey. But I just think the Pelicans have been building this thing a whole lot longer. Willie Green showed last year what he's capable of as a coach in the postseason. I thought a lot of times when they played the Suns last year, outmaneuvered Monty. And I thought that to me stuck out. And of course, CJ McCollum's been incredible for them. So I'm going to go with the Pelicans as well.
All right, so there you go. I'll go with the Pelicans just because Keon did. I don't care. That's as much as we should really talk about all these horrible teams in the play-in. So, it really doesn't matter what happens from this, but hey, you got some fine analysis from us geniuses. So when we come back, we'll get caught up on all the texts sitting here on the text lines about what we're talking about and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent. All over Febreze car clips right on your face. Yeah. My car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
The Masters returns to 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
There it is. A win for the ages.
Listen for updates from the Masters throughout the day with live look-ins, highlights, and the latest news and info from Augusta.
Is it his time?
Yes! The Masters on The Fanatic, a tournament unlike any other. Follow along with the 87th Masters Tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get to the text line and see what is being said. Oh, the historian says, FYI, Chevrolet will install a new level 2 charging unit when you buy one of their Chevy EVs. Problem is, then that just means you have a Chevy EV. 888-368-1580. Bruno Baller says, Vegas definitely likes the Lakers. They're a 7.5 point favorite over the Timberwolves. I got to think that line is a lot to do with the drama and that injury and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing to do with how good the Lakers are. Nothing at all.
I can't bet on them. I ain't betting on them. Hefty Lefty says the Lakers need to come in tomorrow night focused. If they stay focused and LeBron doesn't play hero ball from the start, they should be in good shape. They have a problem this year of starting slow and digging themselves out of a hole the entire rest of the game.
It's true.
Well, I hope LeBron does play hero ball.
And then they turn to LeBron and they're like, bail us out. it's not great basketball when it happens, but it hasn't happened that much lately. So
Lost Toby says Warriors running it back. Okay. Kiss the Cook says Pascal Siakam to Phoenix. Is that a wish or did something happen that I don't know about? Was there?
I think that's just a wish.
I think that's a wish.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I don't think you're allowed to do that. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I don't know why, but every time I hear you say Sooners, it brings a smile to my face, or the word Oklahoma for that matter. When did I ever say Sooners? Was I said sooner than later?
Well, you did say something about Oklahoma, and so I'm assuming that that's what Boomer is talking about. Sometimes they're a bit cryptic.
I bet he texted that in before I made the joke about the mud rolls. Face.
Probably.
Blissful Hayes says, I know what I'm getting Jeffrey for his birthday. A rocking chair. Oh, I can tell he wants one. Yeah, go ahead. Spend $150, $200 on a rocking chair so you can watch me set it on fire, in front of the house. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Blissful Hayes. Go ahead. 888-368-1580. I'm just guessing at the price. How much are rocking chairs, Ralph?
How would I know?
Well,
$400, $500 for a good one. It's made in Pennsylvania, maybe $800.
By them damn Amish. Hook'em Hottie says, why is it so windy in Texas? Oh, it's because Oklahoma sucks.
Wow.
Damn.
Well,
I knew there was some reason.
Hook'em Hottie and Boomer Sooner fight it out on the text line. Why not? Why not? So Keon brought this kind of to my attention, and I'm not surprised, but I will. It's going to suck. My opinion, it's going to suck. And what I'm talking about is the in-season NBA tournament, which Adam Silver has pushed, and now they're going to try next season. I mean, that's official. They're going to try next season, or is it just highly likely? Where are we at with that? Is that official now, Keon?
It is official.
So here's how this goes. I'm going to read the rules and regulations. Teams will be assigned to 6 intra-conference pools of 5, not necessarily by division. I have questions, but I'll wait. On designated days during the first 6 weeks of the regular season, teams will play 4 group games, 1 each against the other teams in their pool. Everyone plays 2 at home and 2 on the road. The winners of each pool and 2 wildcard teams will advance to a single elimination tournament, tiebreakers to determine the 8 participants, such as point differential, all that still being worked out. The semifinals and finals of the tournament will be held at a neutral site. Players for the tournament champion will receive $500,000 each. That is the tournament. Why are we doing this? Why? How, this is dumb. Here's the thing. Okay, they say they're going to have 80 regular season games, and then the tournament is involved in there somehow. So, okay, somebody help me out again. Why are we doing this? Why? How does this help? What is the point?
Because I think that a lot of people lose touch with the NBA in the middle of the season. So the NBA's thinking, not mine, to be clear, but the NBA's thinking on it is if you put a tournament in the season, that it's going to incentivize more people to stick with the NBA throughout the season. And then, if you have cash prizes and extra bonuses for players to earn, they would be incentivized to try. And obviously, if you're in the tournament, they're going to reduce the schedule, like the amount of games that you play in your schedule. So you're not playing 82 games plus tournament. The tournament games you play will be factored into the schedule. I don't know how they're going to do
the championship game.
Yeah.
The championship game will be one more game forever does it, which is not a big old deal. But here's the thing. What is the relevance of this towards the end of the season? How does this affect anything? Is there any season playoff connections to this little tournament? Does it help you? Does it hurt you in any way?
From everything I've read and what I understand, that they are trying to make this its own thing, and so it does not completely separate.
Okay, so and it's in the middle of the season.
That is correct.
So stupid. You play your bench because it doesn't matter. Take this as a nice opportunity to do what the Phoenix Suns did this weekend. Play your bench because this doesn't matter to wins and losses going towards the real playoffs. Nobody gives a damn about winning this thing, $500,000, or would you rather be fresh for an actual championship?
Well, $500,000 might not mean anything to like LeBron, but I promise you, Austin Reeves, it might mean a little something to him and all these other guys that aren't making that huge amount of money.
Okay, well then you put the bench in, and you want that $500,000, go get it. But we're gonna rest our starters. That's what I would do because I have no respect for this. I think it's a stupid thing. It's pointless. It means nothing. You know how much bleep that we would be giving each other if the Phoenix Suns won one thing and the Lakers won the other, and one was the title and one was the season tournament. Oh, big deal. We're going to hang a banner for a season tournament. You'd be the laughing stock. This is a dumb thing.
Is it certain teams that'll do this, or is it every team?
It's going to be certain teams.
So this is first of all, it's a desperate act by a league that's probably desperate for ratings and everything else.
Yep.
But it's very soccer-esque. So international soccer, especially like in Europe, they do stuff like this.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
To get the interest going again.
Right.
But it's typically a very desperate act by a league that's probably ratings are probably down. And in a lot of cities where the teams aren't competitive, they're losing money and different things. I'm assuming that's why they're doing it. I think it's stupid. I won't like it. I think it's horrible.
So what about the other teams? They just get, how long is this thing? A couple of weeks off? Everybody else just sit by the pool while this happens? How long is this damn thing going to take?
Yeah, well, it's not something that they're going to stop the season to do. It's going to be certain games throughout the season.
I hate this.
Yeah. Like I said, like Ralph said, it's a soccer-esque thing. So you're not putting the NBA schedule on pause to have the tournament. It's just you're going to have time to play a game here, and then you'll get back to your schedule.
But those games will count toward your record.
To your record, yeah.
That's the big difference, I think.
Yeah, and because the reason why this happens in soccer, as opposed to what Adam Silver is trying to force here, because he really is trying to force it. He's been talking about this since 2015, and he's finally gotten his way with this last collective bargaining.
Big soccer guy, is he?
He's not. I think he just likes the international model. And
big soccer guy.
And we've got a lot of international players in the league right now. I mean, to the point where like you look at the top players in the league, it's like most of them are from Europe. But I think that's where he's drawing the inspiration from. But the thing is, in soccer, they're doing a lot of these in-season tournaments across multiple high-level leagues. The only high-level basketball league in the world at that level is the NBA. So you're just doing an in-season tournament with yourself. I don't get it.
Why not
bring in the G League?
Why not do what baseball did? That World Baseball Classic is pretty dang cool.
Well, they've got
the quality is pretty amazing. Why not do that with the NBA? You could do it once every couple of years.
Why not? The thing is, why not publicize it more? Because they already have the FIBA tournament. They do it, and we do send American players.
Federation of International Basketball.
Which bone is that?
And they send the
next to the
American players, but it's like when you start preparing for an NBA season, none of these guys want to go.
Get your
so
femur.
I watched the FIBA tournament this year. I didn't recognize any of the guys representing America. Did they win? They did actually, but I still didn't know who they were.
When World Baseball Classic started back in the early 2000s, it was like that as well, but it got more popular.
Yeah.
And now you see everybody that you know playing in these games. You could do something like that. It'd be interesting. You could do it in the preseason, not in the season.
Yeah, and I just think that the league would be better off doing that. Like these guys all get together and we've seen the videos on Instagram or whatever. These guys get in the gym and they're all playing basketball against each other anyway.
Right.
There's no reason why you can't just have them say, you know what, we're doing an international tournament. Show up for that and publicize that. That's more exciting to me because a Greek team led by Giannis, versus Slovenian team with Luka or something like that. That's more exciting to me than teams I already see play each other every night. But now it's for a tournament that doesn't mean anything.
You want Olympic basketball every year is what this is.
If you're gonna have a tournament that we're all watching, at least the Olympic thing is different from what we're already watching. This in-season tournament, as you mentioned before, is not that different from the playoffs, but it's going to matter less because it does.
Yeah, I'd be embarrassed to hang that banner. Yeah, I seriously would.
It'll last 1 year.
I hope you're right, but generally once they start these things, they don't go away that easy, Ralph. I hope you're right.
And God forbid some curious people just click over just to see what it is and it has good ratings. We'll never see the end of it.
Well, we're going to have to watch it because we got to know what the hell we're talking about and decide if we really truly do hate it. Hey, I'll at least give this a chance. It's better than watching the soccer. 888-368-1580. Big George says if you go to your local Cracker Barrel, you can buy a rocking chair made in Tennessee for $150 to $200. Yeah, but who wants to go to the Cracker Barrel? Blissel Hayes says the NBA is going to play a basketball tournament in a pool. Yeah, that's the weird part I didn't get either, talking about being in pools and stuff. I mean, is that like water polo? It's a good question, Blissel Hayes. Dodger fan says LMAO. I hate when people do that, right? Anyways, he said, if this is the mid-season G League tournament, that's kind of what it ends up being. Nobody is going to care about this. And you're going to see, if not all your starters, most of the starters just sitting out on these things. And then it's going to suck anyways, right? Because if they're not playing the starters, it's just these bench guys. It's a bench player tournament. Then nobody's going to watch that.
Yeah, but if the games count against your record for the regular season, then you have to play your guys.
I was told they didn't.
Oh, they don't count.
That's what I was told by Keon Rose.
Oh, well then, yeah, this is even stupider than I thought.
Yeah, Keon Rose is questioning whether or not he's.
I thought I said that they do count.
I'm pretty sure you said.
I believe I said it counts to your record. Yeah,
that's worse. Because I hate this.
It's not great.
It's not great. Says random, but anyone heard about the movie Air? Looks amazing. The whole Nike Michael Jordan thing minus Michael Jordan. You like Michael Jordan's parents? You're gonna love this movie. You like the guys at Nike? You're gonna love this movie. If you love Michael Jordan, go watch The Last Dance. Mr. Pringle says the in-season NBA tournament might be a way for the Suns to finally win a championship. Up yours, Pringle.
And they'll hang that banner, I guarantee you. I got nothing else to hang.
Well,
I'll protest. I'm going to say it right now. If the Suns win that damn thing and try to hang that banner before they hang a championship banner, I'm going to protest. I'm going to go down with a sign, and I hope as many Suns fans that will join me. We will broadcast live as we protest the Phoenix Suns hanging that damn banner. Oh, I am 1,000,000% against this. I say that now.
I was just going to say that.
I wonder if I will feel the same if it happens.
Look, always know that you will never be the Sacramento Kings who have hung a banner for winning a summer league championship.
Dude, I'm the Indianapolis Colts who hung up a participation banner. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. AFC champions or whatever, or runners up, or I don't remember what it was. It's dumb. I might still be up there. I can't remember what it was for because I try not to ever think about it. Yeah, all right, enough of this. I think we're all aggravated. I know Randy's aggravated. I'm aggravated. Ralph is enjoying it because he's picturing the Suns winning the damn thing.
I'm praying. Yes.
Oh no.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the Lakers try to win it and fail. That's what I want to see. Oh my God. Hey Randy, did you hear about the what happened with the Rocket City Trash Pandas and the Chattanooga Lookouts the other day?
It's the weirdest no-hit game ever.
Seven runs, no hits. How does this happen? I mean, I get it. There's walks, there's batters getting hit by pitches.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of that happen in just one inning.
Yeah, pass balls. It was absolute circus. That's why this is minor league baseball. The Chattanooga Lookouts against the Trash Pandas, which minor league baseball still for the win with the best names ever.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind Chattanooga Lookout. I don't mind that, but really good Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yeah.
Because
like
there's
that.
so much going there. You're thinking about Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's a raccoon. So they're calling it a trash panda, which is a slur they use against Rocket. And that these are people who are calling themselves that purposely. There's so much going on here. And
did they happen against the Lookouts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Trash Pandas lost the game, but they threw the no hitter.
Yeah, the Lookouts won. But 7 runs, no hits. It's amazing incompetence by somebody.
I'm a very good friend with the manager of the Lookouts. I'm gonna ask him about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, congratulate him on
it just
bizarre winning accidentally.
It's minor league baseball, and sometimes you can hear the circus music playing in the background at some of these minor league games. You know, you see these guys running around like the Keystone Cops. And in the back of your head, when some of this stuff's going on, that's exactly right, Jeff. Like, dun, 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 dun. You'll even hear the guys, if you're on the bench, you'll hear the guys. They'll start singing it. They'll start whistling it right there on the bench.
I've been to many Lookouts games because I used to live in Chattanooga, and also it's very cheap. And when the prospects are there and they're fun, it's a great time. But the best time is when you don't know any of the guys. Some nonsense is going down. And you can't wait to see it. It's awesome.
You don't even get mad.
By the way, it's going to be one of those games when the first guy up on the first pitch gets beamed. He just gets plunked. First pitch, one pitch into the game, and the first batter is given his base because he just got plunked.
He's got plunked. And that's not even the only bizarre thing. There's a Division II baseball game that happened, and some people are saying potentially the best game ever played by an individual. Brady Ware. He pitched a no-hitter and he hit for the cycle.
Oh my God.
Take that, Shohei Ohtani.
Just a great day for him. And then his teammates were asking him, like, what did you do different? And he was like, well, I was 15 minutes late. I think I might do that again. So
you use that as an excuse for a while.
Hey coach, can I see if I can do it again?
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, I've got your man of the day, and we got a bunch of NFL football to talk about too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
And now coming in at number one, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken's $5 mac and cheese bowl.
Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. 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 For $5. Oh, yeah, baby. Order KFC's $5 mac and cheese bowls on the app. Back for a limited time in original or spicy. That finger looking good. Price participation may vary for a limited time only.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 biggie bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of double stacked JVC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We're going to get to some NFL football. Spoiler alert. Everybody is visiting everybody. That's all you need to know. Good God. That's like the entire feed. Oh, this guy is visiting the Colts. This guy is visiting these guys. Oh, who gives a crap?
And almost none of it means anything because you get 30 visits. So some of this is just, hey, let's just go visit with this guy, see if we like him. And if he gets drafted by somebody else and cut down the road, we already have a connection to him. We might be interested in going after him.
Are
It's
these
got nothing
players
to do
doing
with
this
right now.
just for like the free food? I mean, why would you go on this sort of a tour?
Well,
you know?
because the team might be interested in it. There's no guarantee that that's necessarily the case.
That's it right there. It's all I have for the NFL. It's right there. Everybody's visiting everybody. That's all you need to know. It's the only thing happening. Before we get into other NFL stuff, actually, some things have happened, but we'll get to that in a moment. Right now, let's give you your man of the day. Hold on a second. I should have pre-read this. This can't be man of the day. Here's what. Usually when I see a Guinness World Record, I'm like, ooh, man of the day. Now I read the rest of it. It's a world record knuckle cracker. Now, this is not a white guy that has giant knuckles. This is a guy who cracked his knuckles. So, when I say world record knuckle cracker, it's not a descriptive. It's each cracking.
You know what? I'm picking
Is
up
that
what
clear?
you're throwing down there, Jeff. Go. Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're
Yeah.
clear. Part of it is because my printer messed up, and then I had to handwrite it there on the top of the page myself.
Yeah.
And I may have left a few words out. So
Right.
I don't want you to be confused. This is not a world record knuckle white guy. This is a world record knuckle cracker.
I
not
think we're
cracker.
clear on that. Clear on that.
Cracker.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. There's a difference between cracker and cracker. I don't know. So here's the deal. Do we make a man of the day out of a guy who has the world record for cracking his knuckles?
Why not?
23-year-old guy in Sweden named Ollie London just broke the world record for knuckle cracking, most continuous cracking of different joints. Not, but his, finger
Gotcha.
joints.
Yeah.
First, he starts with his fingers, then he moves to his neck, his toes, his back, his what? His crack? What? I don't know how this goes. He eventually cracked 46 different joints in a row. And Guinness posted a rapid fire video where you hear a pop, 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 pop. It's all condensed to 12 seconds. But he did 46 in a row. Previous record was 40. Now people on the internet are like, I could crack more than that. I could do more than 56. What I don't know are the rules. Can you crack the same one twice? Because sometimes you have that one that just cracks. It's like, I got a weird wrist thing. I don't know if I could do it right now, but where I go like this, okay, that's probably not the right motion for the camera.
No.
But a back and forth motion like this, I could feel it.
Oh,
and
boy.
sometimes you can hear it. It says pop, pop, pop. Wife is like, stop that. And probably now she sees the video. Really stop that. But
like you're using a shake weight.
Kind of. It's just
a shake weight.
I didn't realize how bad that looked until I did it on camera. So can you guys crack your knuckles? I mean, I could probably good for about
No.
15. I don't know if I
No.
could do 46.
I can't do that, and it pains me when somebody does that with their neck.
Oh,
and
the
their
neck
back.
is
If you crack your neck, you
Oh
scare
no,
me.
I can't do
You're
that.
terrified.
I used to be able to crack my neck, but then I was in a car accident, and then my neck is like kind of fused. I can't even like my whole body has to look around like that. I can't even look around behind me anymore. But used to be I could sit there and just crack, and then wait a second and crack, and I could do that like almost constantly, and it grossed everyone out. I missed that. So I guess that's what I don't know is if once you've cracked a knuckle, you can't go back to it, or else people who could do that just be like crack, crack, crack. That should count, right?
Maybe
No, if you
unless
crack
they
it
were-
once, that's it. I think.
It seems like they were counting different joints. So
And my wife doesn't like it. We'll be holding hands and like I'll stick my finger like this, and she knows I want her to pull it back and crack it for me. And I'd be like, I was sitting there, I was like, crack it, please. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh no, just never mind. 888-368-1580. So all right, we're not making this guy man of the day, are we?
Gosh, I hope not.
Do we have an option? Is there some sort of an optional, man of the day B?
Oh, I'm looking.
Contestant B, please.
yeah, there's got to be. I mean, look, it's not.
I mean, we can't.
It's not unimpressive that he can
Right?
crack 40 whatever knuckles, but is
All right, it's either him or this guy. 50-year-old plumber was working in a home in Los Angeles about a week or two ago, and he's like, you know what? I guess just trying to feel like I just need a moment. And he crawled into a crawl space under the house and decided to take a siesta. Tried to just take a little nap there, and the homeowners didn't hear from him like 3 hours. Like, where the hell is this guy? They shouted. There was no answer. And then they called 911. So the firefighters show up, begin searching the crawl space. They look over and they're like, oh my God, look, there's his legs. And they're like, he's unresponsive because I guess he's a heavy sleeper. And so they started cutting holes in the floor with chainsaws to and then that's about the time he woke up. Whoa, what the hell is that? I'm just taking a nap. So paramedics were like, he's fine. He didn't have to go to the hospital. He's just a little groggy. So I kind of feel like that was awesome. It's like, I don't know if
the firefighters came and just wreaked havoc on the homeowner's floor.
I just always just have envied people who can just fall asleep anywhere. I couldn't do that. So I kind of like felt like that guy is kind of a hero. I wish I could do that. Fall asleep there on the job is one thing, it's all embarrassing. And then all of a sudden emergency crews are, you're like, whoa, I mean, come on. Is that a man of the day? Probably not, huh?
It's better than the first guy. I like that better.
Well, Ralph
it is
likes
more impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
this super napper more than a knuckle cracker.
I think you've got to do, probably the plumber would be my vote as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I think we're unanimous. So, all right. That dude, it wins over the knuckle cracker from Sweden. Olli Lunden. Crack. Okay. So yeah, that makes me feel better because I didn't feel great about the knuckle. I really got to start reading these things through. Blissful Hayes says maybe you call him a knuckle honky. Yeah, probably would be better to distinguish between a white guy with big knuckles versus Boomer Sooner says, guys, stop cracking your knuckles. You mind your own business. He says, I got arthritis and 2 off-center upper vertebrae. Well, that's in your back. So that's not happening from cracking your knuckles and your fingers. The hell did you do to get that? I crack my finger knuckles a lot. You guys don't do that?
Oh, I do constantly.
No,
Yeah,
never.
Is it because your mom said you get arthritis?
No.
You don't ever have that urge where you're like, yeah, I got to crack this knuckle?
No.
You seen the size of my knuckles? They're big. That's probably because I cracked them too much.
Well, at least something is. That's good. No.
Yeah, that's all.
Damn.
Hey, you use what you got, Ralph.
Damn.
You
Did
use
you
what you
hear
got.
that? Wow.
So you're wow.
fire.
Wow.
Whole new vision there.
Yeah. And that's why your wife's out of the house a lot. Big George.
Wow. Right back at you.
Straight fire.
Wow.
Big.
Damn.
Big George says, Jeffrey, I didn't realize you had a hard time falling asleep. I mean, you fall asleep on the job all the time between 3 and 6. No. There's a difference between falling asleep and phoning it in. Get that straight there.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner says, told you, Jeffco. What did you tell me? What you didn't tell me is how the hell do you have 2 off-center upper vertebrae and how that's related to you cracking your finger knuckles? That does. Am I the only one lost here on this?
No, I'm incredibly lost. Or unless you're saying you were cracking your back, which you should mention that, but that's also not a knuckle. So
I try not to do the back thing, because I always used to be, I'd be like, crack. Oh, that feels good. Now it's like, crack. I got to go to the hospital. Not going to try that anymore. All right. So, Randy.
Yes.
Yes. You got to be excited about this, maybe a little or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So I like toast. Do you like toast?
Yeah.
Love me some toast.
Yeah.
And there was even a song about toast done by Paul Young back in the day, a novelty song. I like toast.
Yeah.
And
we used to play that on our morning show. We
did.
did.
Oh, that's right. Because I brought that into you.
Yeah. You brought that in.
Anyway, you can grab fancy bread. You can put cinnamon and sugar, and you can do whatever you want to do. But now there's a new idea. Vodka. Vodka butter.
Oh, vodka butter.
Yeah, latest food trend out there. It's viral, and it's butter blended with vodka. I don't know what sort of levels they have of alcoholic, but this ranks pretty high. This chef, I guess, did it on TikTok a couple of months ago, and it's been picking up steam. So you soften a couple of sticks of butter, put it in the food processor with 3 ounces of vodka.
Yeah,
spread it on that toast, and
you've got to put it back in the fridge and let it reform, right?
I said soften it. I didn't say melt it. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a chef, and I'm also not an alcoholic, so I don't know.
Wow.
But they say you put a little, maybe some salt, maybe a little pepper, a little lemon zest, whatever. That's chef.
It's compound butter.
Yeah. So that, I don't know how I should feel about that, because I don't like. I mean, we've always said it's not great to add things to the alcohol, but adding the alcohol to things,
Can you imagine if I had that in my house? Miss Kim would always be searching for me. I'd always be in the refrigerator eating solid sticks of butter,
like a salt lick.
Hang on just a second, Miss Kim. There's some butter.
Well, I wonder if you could do this with whiskey. I mean, why vodka? Just because you don't taste the vodka, you know what I'm saying? Because vodka is what you mix a lot of drinks with at the bachelorette parties go with. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if it's whiskey, maybe you'd taste a little bit of it. Maybe it'd be good.
Are you saying that you would have whiskey butter for bachelorette party?
No. I'm saying the vodka is. Try to keep up, Randy.
I'm trying.
So can we do this with whiskey? I wonder.
Why wouldn't we be able to?
We should try it.
Well, you're not cooking it, right? You're just infusing it.
Yeah, you're gonna and then put it on the toast, just like that.
There's no cooking involved. No cooking involved at all. Right?
You're worried about a fire?
No. Well, people cook. I cook with alcohol. I'm sure you guys do too. I mean, you get the alcohol out.
I just drink my alcohol, Ralph. I don't know why you're cooking with yours.
You cook with alcohol. Come on, I know you do.
It goes straight into you. He will make a beer can chicken.
Like when we make pasta sauce, we use wine or bourbon and ice cream.
No. Yeah. My dad used to make that Cherries Jubilee stuff where you put the what is it? I don't know. Brandy? I don't know. And then
bourbon, isn't it? Yeah.
Bourbon, whatever the hell it was.
Or brandy.
I don't think he burnt enough off, because I often got a buzz after we ate that stuff. And I was like 8. I was like, I love you, man.
You're my man, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
Not him. Anyway, so we should try this with some whiskey, see what happens.
Make a whiskey compound butter?
Or do you think it just tastes a little bit? Nah, I don't know. We got to try it. We got to try this. Anybody in? Who wants to try this?
Yeah.
Should I bring some to the get together? Because, by the way, Ralph, you're coming to the get together, right?
You and Pippi are coming to the get together, right? 23rd?
Yes.
All right. Good.
I like how he's nodding on the radio. Well, I got this equipment here and I got this microphone. All right. So can we talk football when we come back, please?
Not whiskey?
Well, there might be whiskey and football combined. No, I don't want to talk about that. That was a bad story. When we come back, let's talk about the newest member of the Ravens. Holy crap. I can't believe somebody actually did that. I can't believe somebody actually paid that. I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
I'm going to use real butter when I make the whiskey butter. I am going to make the
Good.
whiskey
I think you should.
All right, hour 3 of the Daily Blender is up next here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that debating your accessories.
Could use some new riding gloves. Guess I'll go with black leather again. Just seems so basic. Wait, what if I did white leather? People be like, hey, this guy's different. Or they might be like, hey, this guy looks like a butler. Yeah, okay. Black leather it is.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari explains how to deal with a losing trade.
Every now and then, you are going to be wrong. You have to be able to accept that you're wrong, take a loss, and move on. Very easy to say, very hard to do. Taking a small loss is one of the most difficult things for the average investor. All the time you invested convincing yourself to do something because you're going to use hard-earned money to buy the stuff. Now you have to turn around and say, oops, I was wrong. And that's where most of the small investors get married to a market, married to a stock, married to a mutual fund. And guess what? You love it, but it does not love you back.
Ready for some help with your investments? Call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari. That's 800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K2.4 Rollins Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
hour. Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Ralph from Harmon Solar. We got Keon in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. The historian says the knuckle cracker bothered you, but you couldn't put your finger on it. As why? I don't get it. I was cracking all my knuckles earlier, so I can't get you. Boomer Sooner says, did Ralph say confusing it with alcohol or infusing it with alcohol?
Infusing.
I was going to say both is probably fair. All right, so let's talk football this hour. Let's not dilly, let's nor dally. Let's just get right to it. And hey, when did the Ravens get so stupid? And why are they giving a middle finger to Lamar? They just gave OBJ, that is Odell Beckham Jr. Ralph. They just gave OBJ $15 million guaranteed. He is not worth $15 million for one season. Discuss.
I mean,
well, I mean, why isn't he?
That smells like desperation.
Well, if you go on his past, performances, why wouldn't it be?
Well,
one season,
farther past,
one shot. He was playing pretty well when he injured his knee. I mean, why wouldn't you take a chance on this?
Right
and
now,
maybe this is a motivation for Lamar Jackson to look at the Ravens a little more seriously
and say, wow, they just guaranteed a guy who is coming back from injury and he's unproven. I don't know if I'm going to have any kind of chemistry with him or not. Now they're chucking 15 whole guaranteed $1 million at him. And they're disrespecting me over here as I'm trying to work out a contract.
I don't think that's disrespectful. The fact of the matter is the Ravens stink at acquiring wide receivers. It's just been the biggest Achilles heel that they've had since Ozzie Newsome retired. They don't have any way to get it. When they go to the draft, they seem to pick all the wrong guys. They'll go into drafts where it's the deepest wide receiver draft you'll see in your life. Everyone will leave with a good receiver except the Baltimore Ravens. They just can't pick them. And I do get to a point where if you can't pick, then guess what? You're going to be paying a premium in free agency for guys that maybe aren't worth 15 mil. I wouldn't have paid 15 mil for Odell. I thought 8 would have been
right 6 to 8
the range that I would have paid for. And then if we were going to get up to the 15 mil range, that would be made up in incentives. I wouldn't have guaranteed
he's not proven. He's not proven.
It's
back
been
from
a year.
His injury.
It's been a year, so we don't know what he can do with the leg. We
saw him run up and down a field, catching some passes, but it wasn't. That's not real.
Uncovered. I want to know. Can you separate from defensive backs in the NFL right now?
Tyler Huntley is going to be throwing to somebody. It might as well be him.
Yeah, I mean, you play in the AFC North. If you played in any other division, it would almost be okay. But you play in the AFC North, notorious for their defense that they play over there. The Browns play good defense. The Steelers play good defense. So you can't just show up with Odell and assume all of your wide receiver problems are settled. And I don't think they're disrespecting Lamar. I think they are actually trying to do this to either keep Lamar or entice some other quarterback. But I just don't know how much this helps. And, I mean, you're guaranteeing $15 million to a guy. That means that's $15 million less that you can give to Lamar or whatever quarterback if you decide to go in another direction.
Turd Ferguson says, I feel bad for DJ Moore. He also said Durant does get injured more than Mikal Bridges. I didn't see that earlier, buddy. Sorry about that.
I mean, Durant's in his 30s. When that happens.
888-368-1580. Here's a guy who has something to say about it. Raven Kid says Alabama won round 1. And they're wait, that's from March. What? Stupid text line. Text line is doing some weird things here and there, and I can't even see this now. All right, fine. 888-368-1580. When your text comes through, I will read it. So, yeah. So, all right. So now there you go. Is that incentive for? Oh, yeah. I'll sign because you got OBJ.
See, the question on the table that keeps bugging me is, what color is he going to dye his hair this time?
Neapolitan is what he showed up at the
that's what I mean. But will it be a purple, like a deep purple, like a Ravens purple? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
inquiring minds want to know this.
Potentially, but the fact of the matter is, the guy missed his 30th year season. He will be 31 this year, and you just guaranteed him $50 million coming off an ACL tear. I just don't think this is smart. I think they're trying. Like, I understand that they need receivers. I mean, you look at that depth chart; it's not good. But this is a move too desperate.
Guaranteed.
It's too desperate. You mean you couldn't bargain him down to 10? Who were you bidding against that you got to 15?
The Jets.
So check how they work this: $13.835 million signing bonus and only $1.165 million in base salary. and they say there's probably about $3 million in supposedly reachable incentives. So we'll see how that goes.
If you make a catch during a regular season game, we're going to give you $1 million.
Man, did they overpay? Wow, did they?
Were they really going against the Jets, Randy?
Yes, the Jets were on the table. As a matter, OBJ was leaving Baltimore.
Everybody thought that's where he was ending up this week.
Going to New York City today, and he was going to talk with them today.
Because it just seems like the Jets have enough receivers, and that's probably why they didn't get Odell. They have enough receivers; they don't need to take this risk. But I can't imagine that the Jets were like 14 and the Ravens said 15. Like, how did the Ravens get up to 15? Is what I want to know. Because once you got to 10,
hey, Odell, here's $15 million if you stay here.
If I'm a GM, once we got to 10, guaranteed with Odell, I'm out.
And I'm going to.
He's probably like, really?
I wonder what story they told Lamar after. Hey, look, we got you Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, he gets a fully guaranteed contract. Hello. Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it's 1 year.
I don't think Lamar's talking to them anymore.
I don't think he's talking to them, but I don't think that that's something that's going to offend Lamar.
Still,
a guy
feel great.
It's a 1 year deal. What guys want is guaranteed and a long-term guaranteed deal. So, like, this is a 15 mil. If it doesn't work out, it's not like we've decided to sign up for the long haul with Odell.
Hey, how much of it, when they franchise tagged him there, how much of that is fully guaranteed? When they franchise
tag you, it's the whole
Lamar.
thing.
The whole thing is fully guaranteed.
It's all
so whatever.
guaranteed.
What was that for this year? 35,
38.
Yeah, all right. So you can't feel too bad about that.
Yeah.
One of the things that's going to be interesting to see what happens with Odell Beckham Jr. is when he gets onto the practice field and says, oh, hi, Marlon Humphrey, guy I fought once. Yeah, remember when he was fighting there on the field with him? Yeah, Beckham threw a punch at him. Humphrey body slammed Beckham, and they were both penalized and fined and all that stuff. And then it was just ugly. It was an ugly, ugly mess. And Marlon Humphrey is like, hey, Odell. He tweets this: "You want to be best friends and win a Super Bowl? Let's go get it." I would just love it so much if Odell left his ass hanging. Just leave him hanging. Like,
I don't know if Odell can afford to do that. Marlon Humphrey is a better player at his position right now than Odell is at wide receiver until I see otherwise.
They don't have to play against each other. So they say,
I'm sure training camp's going to be pretty fun.
It's easy for them to sort of ease off of the tensions from back in 2019. But yeah, I would like to see it'd be right on brand with Odell Beckham Jr. to talk bleep at him and leave him hanging. And then all of a sudden, boom. Well, when you smoke, guess what happens? You get cancer. So that's what you just did, Ravens. You got cancer. Congratulations. 888-368-1580. So, hey, Randy, seems like the Cardinals are getting ready to trade back that number 3 pick. The writing is on the wall, and not only are they ready to trade back, they're looking at driving the price up, man.
Hey, why not? Get what you can. I mean, Ralph and I said earlier on this season when they had the number 3 pick, they should do that. Get some more draft capital, be able to pick up more players that they need, unless, you want to stay there at 3 and pick up yet another linebacker. I mean, the smart money says get a linebacker, I think. I mean,
well, it just happens to be that the best non-quarterback is a linebacker.
There you go.
It's Will Anderson. You have no choice if you're staying there.
Our first pick overall should be a damn linebacker.
But this is this is a new staff, new GM, new coach. There's no way to say that the guys that were previously picked at linebacker are going to be here in the future. Whereas Will Anderson can actually play. The linebackers drafted before.
Are you saying Isaiah Simmons can't play?
Varying results, right? Like Simmons.
I mean, if you put Isaiah Simmons as like a safety and let him roam around because that's what he is in the NFL. He's actually a safety.
Yeah,
he's a big safety.
I like Simmons because he's on offense you have the kind of gadget players. They're offensive weapons. They can kind of do everything. He's like a defensive weapon.
Yeah,
you can line him up in all sorts of places. And I wonder
what they got from Tulsa last year. I don't even remember.
Zaven Collins. That was a big swing, and it was a risk, and it was a risk that team didn't have the time to try and develop a guy that was a great athlete, but we just didn't see the production in college, and I just don't know why they made that pick. Will Anderson's not that.
Steve Keim had another Jack and Coke on board.
So if you like Will Anderson enough, I don't think it's insane to stay there and get him.
I don't care about your problems. I'm thinking about my team, the Colts. We're sitting there at number 4. And here's what is happening. The Cardinals are just trying to run the price up on the Colts because it was the Cardinals who said, hey, Adam Schefter, let everybody know that there's 6 teams who have inquired with the Cardinals about trading up over here. And if not for that, the Colts could just sit there and do whatever they want because, Cardinals aren't taking a quarterback. So now the Colts are sitting there going, son of a bitch, we have to do a thing if we're going to do a thing.
Yeah, Seattle just talked to the Cardinals, so you're in trouble.
I mean, because Seattle has liked the idea of an Anthony Richardson that sits behind Geno. Your divisional rival, the Tennessee Titans, have been linked to that spot as well.
You know what?
It's going to happen.
F you guys. You know what? I got Gardner Minshew, and we can tank another year and get a better quarterback anyway.
Gardner, damn Minshew.
F you. You're cool. F you.
you have a new coach who's probably not going to sit there and try and tank for a year. If you are sitting in the 4th spot, you can get a quarterback. Coach
can only do so much.
Just trade the capital and make sure you get your guy. Like this is not rocket surgery. You just go get your guy.
Who is my guy at number 3? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it
is
depends.
It Levis? Is it Richardson?
It's Levis.
I don't know what your GM is thinking, so I have no idea of confirming that. But either way,
you got to have insiders.
And if people are moving up for something, are they moving up for Levis or Richardson?
Come on, Keon. Answers. We need answers, damn it.
I've only got insiders at one organization.
You need to start working those phones we gave you. Let's go. Let's go.
Atlanta. But look,
Are the phones working this week? I mean, hopefully they're working now.
I just think that with the Colts, Richardson just makes so much sense. Like I don't know why when you have the coach that coached Jalen Hurts, why you wouldn't be able to get an Anthony Richardson who has the most upside in the draft.
It's that much for Richardson though.
If that's a franchise guy, then what difference could it possibly make?
I'm all for it. Understand. I'm all for it. I feel like we're going to end up spending more than we should, but I believe in the project. And I don't mind if Gardner plays for us next year and Richardson learning behind him. I'm fine with a bad season, just trying to get to a good one. If Richardson ends up being what everybody thinks he can be, I'm a happy man. If he doesn't, we're drafting somebody anyway next year. So win-win for us. That's a lot of draft capital that you got to burn off to get a guy who could have just fallen to you.
Speaking on behalf of the Cardinals, I'd just like to say we'll take 4 number 1s, including your number 1 pick this year.
F you.
We want Jonathan Taylor and half your offensive line. All right, that's starting bid. Everybody go ahead and pour in from there.
I only thing I can hope is that the Cardinals drive the price up so high nobody takes it, and the Colts can just hang out where they are.
They have to trade back. They don't have a choice. Come on. If the Cardinals don't trade back, that's a huge mistake.
The Cardinals don't have to trade back. That's the leverage the leverage they should, but I don't think they need to.
Absolutely.
The reason why is because I don't think any of the problems that they have can be solved in one draft.
No, I agree, but they need more picks.
They need more picks, but I think that next year's draft is honestly deeper. I just at this particular draft, there's like a bunch of guys that about when you get to around 16, 17, they just all have second round grades, and you're just going to have to live with the guys that you have to take in the first. So in this particular draft, I am not particularly desperate to be trying to trade back when I think that next year's draft is going to have way more talent. If people offer me what I like, I go back and I take all the picks that I can get. But if nobody offers me something that I want, then if they call my bluff, I take Will Anderson and I'm cool with that. Like because I'll be
Jalen Carter.
I don't think you need to reach for Jalen Carter at 3. I think if you
trade
a reach, I think he is right now with given the character stuff. Okay. I understand he paid the misdemeanor fine or whatever. So like that's all done. But there's still character stuff that I'm worried about with him. And also his pro day
I got a question
horrible.
about that.
He showed up absolutely out of shape for it.
True. But what about the character stuff? So he was race car driving. Is it because he tried to fib about that and lie his way out?
It was the lying about it.
Is there anything else on that? Any history to worry about?
No, that's about it.
So he's just a stupid young kid.
Yeah, he was being dumb, and he's going to be he's going to be in the top 10. But
he was
I'm
talked
not.
to be number one just a month ago.
He was.
Did he sell
but
State
then that
Secrets?
occurred, and that is going to, I mean,
He's visiting
you know,
Seattle this week.
we all remember
Is
Laramie
he visiting
Tunsil.
Putin? Is there something we need to worry about? Is he giving up? Did he get those
No, it
files
was-
from the Pentagon?
no,
Is that what's happening?
It was just lying about the racing and and because someone got killed in the racing. I'm just saying make sure
there's a little extra to it. But
Yeah,
you
I'm just saying
can't
make
blame
sure
a young kid for doing. It wasn't me.
I
mean,
iron. I'm just saying iron it out. Do your due diligence. But he went from being a projected first to he's 6 or 7 right now. So if you're sitting at 3, you don't have to take Jalen Carter at 3.
You could trade back and get him.
Correct, and that's where you take Jalen Carter is if
Right,
you trade
exactly.
back. But if you don't trade back, I'm gonna go with Will Anderson, man.
I agree with you.
But that's just if you stay in the spot. But again, it's just about working that leverage and letting other teams know, look, I don't need to rush to take whatever you're going to throw at me. I'm going to sit here and I'll be cool at 3. And then other teams realize, okay, the Cardinals are playing hardball here. We're going to actually have to offer something if we're desperate enough to get up to 3, which at least 3 teams sound like they might be interested in.
Yeah, if somebody wants Richardson, they're gonna pay to get up there. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah, 5 number 1 picks, including this year, and your best player.
No.
I wonder if the Colts want Levis. I don't know what they want, to be honest. I know I'd rather have Richardson. Turd Ferguson says, I'd like to change my name to Chick. He says, just kidding. Please don't change my name. Well, I wouldn't let you change your name because now when you say you don't want to change your name, I kind of want to change your name. I kind of want to change it, but
Chicky.
I love Turd Ferguson as a name. So Pringle says, always great to hear from the Turd. Raven Kid, his text did finally come through. So, all right, here we go. He says, I think the only reason the Odell price was so steep was because he had heavy interest from other teams, most noticeably the Jets. And also, people stopped saying Huntley is a quarterback. If it's not Lamar, both are on Tinder. So Huntley is the team just as much as Lamar is. I'm confused by what the hell you're saying there, to be honest. What are you saying, Raven Kid? I mean, I know that, man, should have sent him to ASU.
I wouldn't think that Lamar would have to be on Tinder. I thought he would be able to get ladies, on his own. I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know about Huntley. I mean, maybe he has to be on Tinder, but Lamar, I mean, come on.
Well, that's something that Raven Kid will have to answer for, probably in a really bad sentence structure and hard to read, but maybe he'll let us know. Let's take a break. And we come back, let's talk about who the number 1 pick really is going to be. That thing has vacillated back and forth. Oh, it's Stroud. Oh, it's Young. Oh, it's Stroud. I guess it doesn't even really matter. What it matters is who's Frank Reich going to take? Let's talk about that. And also, Carson Palmer is talking. Why is anyone listening? I don't know. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The NBA will have 2 play-in games on Tuesday, including the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference. Miami just needs 1 victory to advance, while the Hawks need to beat the Heat twice. Miami a 5-point favorite in Game 1 Tuesday night, minus 198 on the money line. Atlanta plus 166, over under 226.5. The Lakers Tuesday will be hosting Minnesota. Los Angeles needs 1 win over the Timberwolves to advance, while the Timberwolves need to win twice. Lakers a 7-point favorite, minus 275. Minnesota plus 225, over under 228.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Do you want to know what's trending now? You can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. No payments and no interest for 6 months. This is a big deal. NetSuite by Oracle has never made an offer like this, in its 22 years as the leading cloud financial system. 33,000 companies have already upgraded to NetSuite, gaining visibility and control over their financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. Everything they need to reduce manual processes, boost efficiency, build forecasts, and increase productivity across every department. In fact, almost 90% of finance leaders agree that NetSuite helps them reduce manual data entry time. Whether your business generates millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, take advantage of this special financing offer of no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/radar. That's netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online, oh, you better have a good excuse. Yeah. We've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love. Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk. And you'll love every bit of it. Very well. Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
Okay, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Lost Toby just sent over a picture of him in his Letterkenny Irish jersey going to the Coyotes game in that classic. That's well done. What's on the back of that thing? Is that, say, Shoresy and is the number 69, or is that just a straight up sweater, my friend? 888-368-1580. That is a nice jersey, by the way. It's funny. It's a cool looking jersey, but it's also from a really funny TV show. So well done, Lost Toby. 888-368-1580. So back to what we were talking about before. It has changed. We're going to go for CJ Stroud. Oh, we're going to go for Bryce Young. Oh, it's going to be this guy. Oh, it's going to be that guy. And now, people are saying, oh, it'll probably be Bryce Young going to the Carolina Panthers. Is that because Frank Reich knows what he's talking about? Is that because maybe Bryce Young prayed with him? I don't know. I don't know why it's gone back and forth, but it seems like they're saying it's going to be Bryce Young. Is this the right move, Keon? Is this a guy that fits the Panthers situation better than CJ Stroud?
I mean, I think so, but I really like Bryce Young. I can't think of very many situations where Bryce Young wouldn't fit. He's a guy that's tremendously intelligent. He's a big time playmaker. He knows when to scramble. He knows not when to scramble. He knows how to navigate the pocket. As far as all of the quarterbacks in this draft, I think Bryce Young has the best feel for the game. Just an understanding of where he's supposed to be, where he's supposed to be looking. And that is a pro-ready thing, which I think maybe Frank Reich would like to kind of hit the ground running. So you go with Bryce Young because he's going to be the person that carries the least amount of risk. His ceiling is lower. It's lower than Levis. It's lower,
like his height.
Yeah, and that's a giant risk as well. It's lower than Richardson, but I still think that just in terms of pro-ready guy that can play, I'm a big Bryce Young guy. I watched just about every game he played, and I was impressed every single time.
Well, here's what a coach had to say about that. Alabama's line was superior, and Young consistently had enough time to throw. Taking away nothing from him because he made throws and made the plays to be great, but the offensive line for him will be crucial. Think of the defensive coordinators he's going to face. How much are they going to emphasize putting good hits on him? I don't see how that's not a big factor when you put a grade on him. Does the Carolina Panthers have the kind of offensive line needed to protect him? This seems very much the same conversation that we would have about Kyler Murray. Do the Carolina Panthers have what is necessary on the O-line to keep this kid upright?
I think that they're going to still have to work to that. It's not something that's, I don't think it's as bad as what the Cardinals have, but obviously when you have a quarterback that's both that height and that sleight of frame, I do think that, yeah, you have to do better than what they have. But he's not a guy that sits around and stands there to be a moving target. He's also not a guy that hangs onto the football way too long. He knows when to get rid of it.
It's not perfect, and it's not every time. Kyler Murray, all the same things you said were said about Kyler Murray, and he did all right for a bit. Bam! And he got laid out. It's going to eventually happen. And when that happens, you hit the ground, your head hits the turf. Next thing you know, you got another Tua situation going on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know the thing that took out Kyler Murray was a non-contact knee injury, but unless you've got the kind of O-line that you need, you almost think, well, Jesus, but shouldn't they go with CJ Stroud instead if they don't have the same kind of line?
Stroud's bigger, but that doesn't matter because it's not like they're the same guy. The knock on Stroud, and this is something that depends on how much you weigh that Georgia game that he played. In the Georgia game, everything you wanted to see out of CJ Stroud, he showed, including that feel for the game, including that ability to make plays and move around in the pocket and avoid hits. All of that stuff he showed, but almost nothing he did before that shows that. So now you're kind of thinking, is CJ Stroud going to be able to consistently access that level that he played at against Georgia, or was that a flash in the pan? I tend to lean towards he's more of what he was before that game, because even against lesser competition, he didn't show that he could do that. And maybe you can coach that out of him if you feel great about it, but I'm going to take it from the guy that I've seen be able to do that, and that's Bryce Young. And that does come with the risk of his size. I do understand that. That's going to affect your grade. You're either bothered by that more or less. And certain general managers are going to look at that and go, no, can't do it. He's 5'10", 190. I don't care that he weighed 205 at the combine. I don't even believe that. I'm 5'10" and I could knock him over. I don't believe the weight that I saw there. The point is, I just think that because he gives you, from the mental side, everything that you're looking for, and he's the quarterback that's flashed that the most, that's what I'm going to bet on.
All right. So I'm just glad that the Colts aren't going to have to try to decide between Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. I actually like the idea of hoping that we get a guy who's just a big lump of clay with great potential that can be molded any what he wants. What are you laughing at, damn it? What's so funny with that, Ralph?
No, I mean, I like Bryce Young. I've liked him at Alabama. I think he's a great college quarterback. I think CJ Stroud's a great college. I just think that in 5 years, we're not going to be talking about either one of these guys. I just don't think that they're going to be what people think they could be. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling. I just don't think that they're going to be very successul in the NFL. I just don't.
I thought you were laughing at me for Anthony Richardson.
No, I think Anthony Richardson has more upside and more potential than both those guys. I really do. I think he's not nearly ready yet. He needs a few years behind somebody. But I mean, I think when it's all said and done, he could be the guy we're talking about in 5 years because he's that good. And I think those other two guys, Bryce Young's small. I think he's way too small. I think he's going to take his hits behind a bad line, and he could probably get hurt. I hope he doesn't, but I can see that happening. I think he's going to be running for his life all season. I hate that we have to bring these guys in and that they have to play right out of the gate. I would love to see guys like this just sit for a year or two and learn the NFL game. It's a different game. But they put so much pressure on these guys to come in and do this.
The problem is we don't have any solid quarterbacks. Like back in the day, they used to have, like, every team had a quarterback, somebody that's going to be their quarterback for a decade. Yeah. And you could bring in young talent and let them sit there and develop and kind of, watch the old pro. We don't have that anymore. I mean, the game moves so fast, and you don't really see any really solidified quarterback. Like Aaron Rodgers is sort of a throwback. You know what I mean? Drew Brees was a throwback. Tom Brady was a throwback. Nowadays, it's
the two guys that are going to be taken 1 and 2. You know what the shame is? You got Will Anderson Jr. and you got Carter. And to my opinion, those are the two most talented guys in the draft up front. And what you watch in 2-3 years, we're going to be talking about both those guys as just unbelievable players on the defensive side. And I get the Panthers need a quarterback and this and that, but they're going to be sorry. They're going to be sorry they passed on these defensive guys that are probably going to be outrageous Pro Bowl players down the road for the next 10 years. That's just my opinion.
Every one of these people would be murdered if they didn't take a quarterback when they needed a quarterback.
I get it. I do get it. I understand. I just think they're picking the wrong guys.
No, I hear you.
It's a tough sell that if you pass on any of these guys, it's hard to go to the owner and say Bryce Young actually does, navigate his life in the NFL and he's a solid NFL quarterback and he plays for 10 years and he's a franchise guy, or CJ Stroud, and you passed on him. Yeah, for a defensive guy, but you needed a passer and you didn't get one. It's just tough, and owners are just not going to go for that.
I get it. The guy that's coming out, I mean, I'm not saying it because he's at SC. Honestly, I swear to God, I'm not saying it. But the guy that's coming out next year, Caleb Williams, that guy is,
no, we all agree on that.
He's something special. He's the next Mahomes. I mean, he's unbelievable. I mean, and that's a guy you don't pass up on. And that's a guy that you probably could start year one and you're going to see instant success. That guy's just amazing. He's an unbelievable quarterback. You'll see it this year for SC when he plays for them. But I think he's a guy I would absolutely tank for because I want that guy for the next 10 years.
All right.
I just thank Lincoln Riley for taking that dude out of my life. It's about to be a nightmare for every year.
That guy's legit.
To further your tanking hopes, I mean, you're right behind the Colts, waiting to see what drops to you at number 5. You got Geno Smith as your starting quarterback. What do you think? What do you think? What do you want? What are you going to do? What do you want? What's the player for you, Ralph?
For me, I want a defensive guy. I mean, I would love to have Will Anderson if he was there. I don't think he's going to be there. I do like Carter too, but I think I would trade back to get him because I think you can get him in a couple picks later. I don't think you need to take him at 5. I think you could take him at 7.
How do you feel, Ralph, about Tyree Wilson?
I like him too.
Because he's one of those guys that he's incredibly raw, and there's a world where that doesn't work at all. But his arms are, the guy's a pterodactyl, okay? Like he's got freaking long arms. He's fast as hell. I mean, he really does remind me a whole lot of Jason Pierre-Paul, but with fingers. Just in terms of the size, like just in terms of the build, the way, and like I forget what his cone drill was at his pro day, but basically the fact that the guy just has so much bend, he can get around those tackles. I like him a lot. I think that could be a good pick for the Seahawks if they stay where they are.
I think Seattle's going to do one of two things. They're going to trade up and they're going to go after Richardson. That could be one move that they can make. I'm not a fan of that move, but I understand that move because it could actually play out 3-4 years from now. Because I think Geno's the guy there for the next 3-4 years.
No
doubt.
Geno will be the guy there a year or two.
No, he's probably got next 3-4 years. If Geno keeps doing what Geno did this year, how do you go away from him? You can't.
It'll take one bad game to get the chance from the stands. Richardson, and you'll never see him again.
He's not ready. He's raw, and everybody knows it. He's just not ready.
Yeah, but Seattle fans are dumb. So
I mean, Anthony Richardson was he gets compared to Cam Newton a lot, but then Cam Newton went to a national title with what he had and with way less talent around him than what Anthony Richardson had. So I'm just saying that Anthony Richardson still has a whole lot to learn.
He does
in terms of how to take over a game.
Colts aren't going to let you do that if they want them. So dropping the soap noticed. Pringle noticed. Did you guys notice what Keon said a little bit ago? Pringle is calling it quote of the year. Dropping the soap wants a definition, please. It says, can you ask Keon to define what rocket surgery is, please?
Oh no, that's
I wasn't going to bring that up.
No, that's a joke that me and my friend used to have. It's just like, you could say it's not rocket science, you could say it's not brain surgery. We just put the word together and just
rocket surgery.
It was just
sorry guys, it was on purpose. Raven Kid decides to attack Ralph right at the jugular and says, blow smoke out your ass, Ralph. This is a GCU student right here. A fine Christian young man.
Well, I mean, I get it. I get where he's
getting day after Easter, so at least he's forgiven. So
the top 2 quarterbacks are franchise quarterbacks. Quarterback is most important, and you won't pass up on them if you need a quarterback. Well, Ralph understood and agreed to that. It's just we don't really agree that they are plug and play or maybe the best choice for a specific team as a franchise quarterback.
I guarantee you that there are teams that would have sat there in that spot and would not have a number 1 overall grade on Bryce Young. I like him a lot. I think he's a franchise guy, but there are teams that if you don't think that guy is really going to work, there's no point in drafting him.
Am I the only one sitting here wondering how you actually blow smoke out your ass? Could you actually blow smoke out your ass?
Yeah. Why not?
Does that mean intaking smoke into your ass? I mean, that feels kind of like.
I think that's what you'd have to do. Yes. I think at GCU they have a class on that.
You have to be, because I don't understand the physics of this. It just seems like, do you stick a cigar? I just,
I want to go back and agree with Keon, though. I think Seattle is either going to trade up for Richardson or they're going to take Wilson at 5 or trade back and Carter.
Lost Toby says Cardinals are drafting a kicker. Quiet Cannon says Stroud's coach kept him in the pocket during the season because he had no backup. All hands on deck in the Georgia game.
And maybe that's what it is, but there were just times where he was really tentative that you just go, dude, we got to see.
Oh, come on, Ralph, get your camera together. It's not rocket surgery.
I know that
made me dizzy.
We went on a ride there. I don't know how much of it to blame on Ryan Day as well. He does play a factor in this. There was, they were playing the Michigan game and CJ Stroud was trying to go all out in that game, and Ryan Day got scared. He got scared, and the play calling got scared, and everybody looked bad in that game. So I don't know how much to put on CJ for not doing more and how much to put on Ryan. I guess we'll have to make that.
You watch, there's going to be some guy drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round that's going to be the standout 5 years from now. Kind of like, remember the year that Luck came out and RG3 came out, and then Wilson came out in the 3rd round and he was the guy.
Or you had the draft with Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen, but it's Lamar at the end of the draft. Actually,
at the end of the day, you need to watch that Herndon kid too out of Tennessee. I think
Hendon Hooker is interesting. It's hard to figure out how good he is at anything because Tennessee's offense is silly.
But I think he's interesting. I think he could be really interesting.
Look at Ralph watching hookers.
Then there's Aiden McConnell out of Purdue. He's frustrating to watch because the stuff that he does great. You're like, if you did this all the time, you'd be in this top 5 conversation, but the stuff that he does badly is just as bad as the stuff that he does great. Yeah. So you just kind of, if somebody can develop that though, that's a nice 3rd round guy that could become something.
Swave Dave says, sorry guys, been listening for over an hour, driving, fixating on this one singular thing. Now I can text. Good for you for being safe, Swave Dave. Appreciate that. He says, what do you think of BSB BBB? What sexual fetish is that?
Is that Morse code or some sort of strange
BSB BBB? What's her name? I don't know how to answer this.
BSB.
Oh no, it says brown sugar bacon bourbon basting butter.
Ooh,
brown sugar bacon bourbon basting butter.
See, that sounds good.
Yeah,
that sounds
good to me. Yeah. He says try saying that fast 3 times. That fast. I don't know what the big deal was about that. Raven Kid says, Ralph just said the worst phrase in radio, at the end of the day. Well, I've said that for a long time, but here's the thing. It is the end of the day for us. And Ralph only said it once today. What I hated was the guys, remember the guys in the black polo shirts buttoned all the way up the top? Them MFers said it all the time, constantly. Constantly.
Who are those guys again? Who are they?
I don't know. They're in Canada now, I think, or something. Robert from Surprise says he had me at bacon. It is romantic. I'm not going to lie, it is. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and best-selling author on safety and preparedness. The fact is, things are getting downright scary for everyone who's storing their wealth in the banks. We just saw the collapse of 3 major banks, and I would urge you to consider protecting your wealth ASAP. If even a tiny percentage of Americans attempt to withdraw their savings, we would see a collapse of the entire banking system, sending us into a modern-day Great Depression. Fortunately, there is a way for you to avoid this. It starts with contacting Advantage Gold. If you have an IRA or 401k, Advantage Gold can help convert those paper assets into physical gold and silver. This is the process that I recommend everybody use as a hedge against rapid inflation and to protect your retirement wealth from the banks. Take control of your financial safety today. Call 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And all right, we got on this date in Big Georgia sports history coming here in a little bit. I wonder if maybe I'm starting this conversation too late. I saw this headline where Carson Palmer, I don't know why anybody's talking to Carson Palmer, to be honest, but somebody says, who's the better quarterback? And he's all, I think Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes.
An idiot.
Wow.
Carson Palmer is in the Cardinals Hall of Fame there.
Yeah, the
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor.
He is a Ring of Honor recipient.
I didn't say much, but yeah.
No.
No. He did lead the Cardinals to the playoffs, and very deserving of the Ring of Honor.
Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Is that all it
Carson
takes?
Palmer?
Hell no.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we could all agree on that's not even a
Well,
conversation.
I don't know. Maybe for his time with the Bengals, his stat line.
Look, I don't care what rock band he was out there with, and I don't care if there was a bunch of chicks. He does not belong in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he did, but everybody always, whenever I was criticizing him when he was playing, people were like, "Oh, look at his stats; they're amazing." Yeah, but it wasn't ever the stats with him; it was the eye test, it was the mistakes, it was the interceptions at the wrong moment. So it's like, oh, great stats, but guess what? You lost the game when it mattered.
How did he impact the game?
He threw a ball. People caught it.
It's just can we tell the story of the NFL without Carson Palmer? Very easily. Very easily.
So, all right, you say that he says something about Joe Burrow being the best quarterback.
Here's what he says. He says, I think Joe is the best quarterback in the league. He says, I know Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal, but I just think Joe is more consistent. He's more consistent. He's more accountable to the run, to run the system and the play that's called and not feel like, well, he didn't win last time and get open for me, so I'm just going to do it with my feet. And before you know it, you're sacked for a 4-yard loss because you tried to make 2 or 3 guys miss. Joe is just talk about not having a weakness. Okay, mentally strong, physically tough, accurate. I mean, I get it that Carson Palmer is a Joe Burrow fan, but really, if we were to compare these two quarterbacks to say Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes, I like the competition between them, but who has rings right now?
Well, right now, if you're putting Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes in the Hall of Fame, who's it going to be?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, because the way he's impacted the game. Now, Joe Burrow, although a young guy, he's certainly made his mark so far in the league. We'll have to wait to see what happens. But I mean, there's no way that Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes.
It's a dumb thing for Carson Palmer to say, especially right now. You know, you got to give a little more time to see what Joe Burrow is. Patrick Mahomes had a little bit of a head start, but I mean, again, Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid. You know, Patrick Mahomes has the Chiefs. So Joe Burrow, though, has made a big impact on the Bengals, but the Bengals also very much improved as a team. Really need to get that offensive line thing under control. And I felt like they kind of made some improvements last year. So if you're going to compare Joe Burrow to Patrick Mahomes, there's also external factors. So I honestly, right now, I mean, just you think click Patrick Mahomes, but someday the case is going to have to be made for both of these guys.
Oh, I understand that 110%. And I just don't think you can come out as first of all, who asked Carson Palmer who he thinks the best, or is he just out there somewhere after some wilderness trip? And he just decided?
It was his brother. It was on the Quarterback Room podcast hosted by his brother.
Okay. And he's welcome to his opinion, but it's the way he's describing Patrick Mahomes. It's like Patrick Mahomes is just out there throwing the ball around. No, Patrick Mahomes is playing inside of a structure. He is playing inside of Andy Reid's offense, and he's doing what that offense allows.
I thought you were going to be saying he was playing inside Andy Reid's colon. That'd just be funny. I don't know.
Why would he say that?
Why would I say that?
I don't know. It's just what popped in my head. It just doesn't have to make sense. It was funny.
Okay, fair enough.
He's a big man. I don't know.
But he's playing inside that offense.
I don't know.
And
belly button, is that better? I don't know.
Inside of his britches, maybe, but his colon.
You know, last year people thought, all right, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to fall off. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have the big game-breaking receiver. Didn't happen. Meanwhile, you know, Joe Burrow's got Jamar Chase. So it's just like there are pros and cons to what the situations both have. But, you know, Mahomes is about a 66% passer. Burrow's 68%. We're not talking about this giant gap where Mahomes is like,
right,
I can't make the throw, so I'll just take off and run. And by the way, Joe Burrow is a mobile quarterback too. That's part of the reason why he's so good. Is because if you leave him alone, he's not Lamar, but he'll get 15 yards if you don't keep an eye on him.
I'm not ready to make this comparison. If you force me to do it right now, the first thing comes out of my mouth is the same thing that came out of Randy's and Ralph's and your Patrick Mahomes. But I don't want to make that comparison now. I want a little time, and it still remains to be seen. There's a lot of football between now and the time you could say which one of these guys is better. And I think that's a fun problem to have two really good quarterbacks making the game more interesting.
I think Joe Burrow is clearly in a class of the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the league. I mean, what kind of a guy comes in, takes a team like the Bengals with a relatively new coach, and then leads them, wills them to the damn Super Bowl, just this past year. Clearly, Joe Burrow is a quality elite quarterback, but
he was a quarterback who was sacked the most in the league, and he went to a Super Bowl with that team.
And they were on a run again this year. Joe Burrow is going to have. I think he's going to have a wonderful career. But
it's all depending on the moment. It's just they're equal, but then at whatever moment one's bigger than the other one's bigger. It just kind of goes back and forth.
It's all the extra things Mahomes does, right? I mean, it's not just he's not a sit back guy. The way he runs, what he does when he runs, how he throws the ball sideways, underhand, it's his mind and the way he understands the game and the things that he does that nobody else even thinks about. That's what makes him.
He's very creative. Very creative.
And guess what? He got the rings. Jag Dog says, stay away from the 60 East at Alma School. 5-car pileup. 4 lanes are now down to 1. So get up off that 60 if you're heading east and find another way home because there's a bad one out there. 888-368-1580. Swazman says, hey, Jeffrey, you guys going to give props to the LIV golf guys? No. I mean, they played fine, I guess. I mean, Phil did, Koepka did, Patrick Reed. Sure they did.
We know they could play. No one said that they couldn't.
I guess Swazman is a big LIV fan. So you're the one.
There's a reason these guys make $100 million in a contract with the LIV because they're really damn good at golf.
I bet Swazman could tell me exactly what channel the CW is on if he's a Live fan, because that's the only place you can see it. All right, Swave Dave, thank you for the idea. He says maybe I should put bourbon first on this. Blissful Hayes says, will J.J. Watt be elected to the Cardinals Ring of Honor? If Carson Palmer was, then yes, he should be
I mean, how many years was he with the Cardinals?
2.
I don't know that you put a guy 2 years now. Nah, you don't put a 2-year guy in your Ring of Honor.
Oh, no. Ralph, the Cardinals did. Robert from Surprise says, pains me as a Raiders fan to say anybody from Kansas City is better, but Patrick Mahomes is better. Well, we'll see. Quiet Cannon says, Mahomes and Joe Burrow are two different style quarterbacks.
Yes.
How can you not consider the opinion of a professional, experienced quarterback? He boots on the ground. You guys are observing from a distance because we have no respect for Carson Palmer. I
respect Carson Palmer. The guy played in the league and had a long career. I've got respect.
I'm pretty sure he's part of the cartel.
I've got respect for that. But here's the thing. He played in Cincinnati. And I've listened to enough individual team podcasts to know that when you get the guys that used to play for an organization, they think highly of the guys that play in the organization.
Yeah.
He's got a bias too.
When I listen to that quote Jeffrey read from Carson Palmer, it sounds like he follows the rules, he follows the game plan, he follows the play, he doesn't create, he's very rigid and inside of a box where so he must be the better quarterback because this other guy, Patrick Mahomes, he's all wonky. He's out there throwing balls between his legs and shovel passes and all this kind of. Give me a break. That's not what it's all about.
Hookamati says, I think there's a difference between which one is better as an athlete and which one is a better all-around quarterback. I don't know. I haven't really made that distinction on this because they both seem to have the same kind of athleticism. Patrick Mahomes is just kind of squirrely, and Joe Burrow's got other strengths.
Ask defensive coordinators who they'd have a harder time getting ready for.
Yeah,
I guarantee they're going to say Mahomes. Yeah, they're going to say Mahomes all day.
Mm-hmm. There's that unknown factor. But part of that, Ralph, could be the fact they're facing Andy Reid, who is feeding Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Mahomes is doing things outside of what Reid wants him to do. He's the creative part.
Like Andy Reid, they were running Andy Reid's offense when Alex Smith was there. No one was having nightmares trying to prepare for him. And it's not like Alex Smith was bad.
He was still damn good.
Yes, but he wasn't giving people, defensive coordinators were not losing sleep because Alex Smith was coming. He was still good. He was winning a lot. But then Mahomes came and there's another level. I mean, that team reached another level that they could not reach with a really good quarterback. We can all agree.
Swave Dave wants everybody to know that the Live is on Channel 6 with Cox Cable.
Good. I'll know where to watch Pac-12.
Oh, I know. I saw that. That's a maybe. That's not a done deal yet.
It's not a done deal, but
I'd be happy if the Pac-12 went to the CW.
If it was on a network, you can actually watch it. Yeah,
I know. Bad for Live, great for the Pac-12. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1959 on opening day, Nellie Fox went 5 for 7. Hit an unlikely 2-run homer off of Don Mossy in the top of the 14th inning to beat the Detroit Tigers at Briggs Stadium 9-7. Why was that unlikely? He's itty bitty. The Chicago White Sox second baseman called Mighty Mite by his teammates did not home run at 623 at-bats before that. Back to me, Jeffrey. It's like out of nowhere, this little guy hits it, and it's just fun. Okay, I guess nobody cares. 888-368-1580. I don't know.
Even a blind squirrel can center one up every once in a while.
Yep. Just saying, Well, somebody ruined the other one for George earlier, so we had to just go with little guy gets a home run in 1950s.
That was the naturist. Oh wait,
the historian,
librarian.
That was the historian.
Oh, that's it.
Who does not have to be restricted to history on this day. Just
Oh, Swave Dave says that wasn't me. I cut the cable. I'm sorry. I get Swave Dave and Swuzman confused. I get I can't remember his name with the K's. Kiss the
Naturalist.
Cook. I get Kiss the Cook and the other
librarian
K guy, King of Kittens. Get them confused.
Navy bread.
When there is too many people with the names that start with the same letters, I have a problem. I'm not dyslexic, but
See, I have a problem with the names that start with numbers.
Like?
I don't know. I have a problem with them.
You can't call them on it.
I don't know. I thought maybe you'd known. Berg says, great show, guys. Fire Big George. Big George. Let's see what he says. Nothing about, he says, Jeffrey, I didn't realize you had a hard time falling asleep. I mean, you fall asleep on the job all the time between 3 and 6. Did I read that one earlier?
Yeah.
You did. F you again, Big George. Wyatt Cannon says, I remember what Tampa Bay did to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So Casey fixed the O-line, and the rest is history. So let's see if Cincinnati pulls their team around the quarterback there so they can reach his full potential. Wyatt Cannon, I want to see if maybe you can invest in spell check, because that was not easy for me to read. It may have made sense to them.
Only what?
Pull the team around.
Oh,
I don't know.
By what?
Big George wants us to fire Bird. Slave Dave says he's dyslexic too. So. Ralph, thanks for joining us and taking the abuse about how bad the Dodgers and Lakers are. And the rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Yes, we do have availability. Those dates for how many guests?